This will be the 61st game between these two teams. The Bruins have won 2 more than the Huskies, so it's been a good, tough series.
Spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe. Spin it, spin it, spin it.
All around the world, Siemens is helping people work together, even when they're not together. From next-generation internet to mobile business solutions, we're giving people the freedom to communicate better.
Spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
Introducing the next great Jeep idea, Jeep Liberty. Full of innovations and legendary capability.
And now? Your eyes are fine.
Nature has never seen anything quite like it. Jeep Liberty.
Next.
ABC Sunday, 2 of television's best, back to back at 9/8 Central.
I am holding plutonium here.
She's living a double life, working as a double agent.
My days of blindly following orders are over.
Alias. Then at 10/9 Central.
That's what they have to be afraid of.
Don't miss this award-winning drama, The Practice.
Got till tomorrow.
Just give me the money. Please. Go, baby! Go!
It's an all-new Alias, followed by an all-new Practice. This Sunday starting at 9/8 Central on ABC. ABC Wednesday, starting at 8/7 Central. Get ready for the biggest My Wife and Kids ever.
Come on.
Damon's wife is back, and she's brought a few extra pounds with her. But hey, if you can't beat them, join them. A tasty new My Wife and Kids. And at 8:30, 7:30 Central, ABC's big family comedy hit.
Okay, pal, eat up.
According to Jim. And at 9/8 Central, Drew's got 2 wives in big trouble. Yeah, he can run, but he can't hide. Or maybe he can. It all starts at 8/7 Central, ABC Wednesday.
The unbeaten Washington Huskies have caught lightning in their bottle so many times already this season, you begin to wonder if that bottle is not turned into a crystal decanter. And the Huskies have not minded waiting, taking dessert at the end, however wearing it might be on the nerves. Today, the Huskies face a cranky companion on the football field, the UCLA Bruins, a team that treasures every inch of its land and works very hard to prevent trespassing. The Bruins traveling much of their unbeaten journey by land, knowing well another win today and their road might turn to yellow brick. And here are the UCLA Bruins coming into the Rose Bowl. This is their home stadium, and they have become sort of the elite, if you will, of the football community here in Southern California. Sort of a tough time on the other side of town, and the Bruins are trying to make the most of it. Here's today's schedule in the Pac-10 Conference. 4 of the 5 teams are playing each other. Surely the commissioner sighed this morning, if only it were the last Saturday in the season. There are 2 games particularly interesting on today. Washington State is playing at Stanford. They're both undefeated. However, the Cougars go into Stanford today without the Pac-10's leading rusher, Dave Minnick. He had arthroscopy on a knee earlier this week. He's out for 4 weeks. California is hosting Oregon today. The Ducks are another undefeated team, and California looks like a team that might be ready to jump on somebody. You never know, do you? Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. Welcome again to college football here on ABC. The Washington Huskies come into this game today undefeated against the unbeaten Bruins, but without their starting quarterback, Cody Pickett, who suffered a shoulder separation last week in the close game against Southern California. Enter Taylor Barton. Taylor Barton making his first start, and he led the Huskies to 3 scores in their last 4 possessions as they escaped the Trojans. Barton highly regarded as a decision maker, and sometimes his playing ability is considered as good as anybody's. But Tim Brandt, I bet you the Bruins figure that a quarterback can't complete a pass laying on his back.
No question about it. A defensive coordinator, Phil Snow, threw so many blitzes in the last game, they're now calling him the Blizzard of Westwood, and he's going to be doing that today. But it's not the blitz itself that succeeds or fails. fails, it's when you call it, and so far Snow's been flawless.
But the ground game also is a major story over in Westwood for the Bruins.
And Deshaun Foster is a very unique package of size, speed, power, and balance. He grew up watching Earl Campbell, and you know, he's got a lot of that same style with him. Reckless abandon, a lot of power. He slips and slides and searches and surges, and if he gets near that end zone, look out, because he'll get there. The best back in the country, bar none, after contact. Breaks a lot of tackles. And I can tell you this, Washington's going to be ready for him.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Huskers tend to hang around and make things exciting in the fourth quarter.
Well, and defensively, too, they have set up for Deshaun Foster. They're going to put a lot of pressure on their cornerbacks to go a lot of one-on-one, because they're going to put 8 and 9 guys in the box between the tackles to stop the run of Deshaun Foster.
Right now, our colleague Todd Harris is with UCLA coach Bob Toledo.
Thank you, Keith. Coach, I got to ask you right off the bat, you came close in '98. Is this team national championship quality?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a good football team. It's an experienced team with 23 seniors. We've got a lot of quality depth, and today I think will be a telling story how good we really are.
The tough games come in October and November. Any surprises to get you through a game like this?
Well, I don't think there's any surprises. I think the key thing today is, you know, we got to be good on special teams, and we're going to receive today, and we're going to try to make a statement with special teams. We got Deshaun Foster returning the kickoff.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
That's a very revealing comment right there. Deshaun Foster is going to return the kickoff. He'll be back there with Manuel White. It's the first time this season that we have seen him do it. However, remember, he has done it before as a freshman and as a sophomore. The head coach of the Washington Huskies, Rick Neuheisel, the whole world knows by now that he was a Rose Bowl MVP as the quarterback for the UCLA Bruins. Third year at Washington, and you see what he has done. He's done very well, thank you. Once again, Todd Harris.
Well, Keith, at last year's Rose Bowl game, the Washington Huskies received an inspirational visit of monumental proportion when their teammate Curtis Williams, who was paralyzed in a game against Stanford, was there in the locker room to greet them prior to their victory against Purdue. The good news for the Huskies, he's back. Number 25 greeted the players as they came out on the field for a pregame warm-up. Curtis just received a pacemaker-type device, which allows him to breathe on his own. We want to wish Curtis and his brother David the very best. Keith.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. And he's upstairs in the shade because it is very warm. The temperature is going to get close to 100 degrees down on the field. It'll be around 90 outside the stadium.
I think what's telling here, Keith, is the fact that UCLA won the toss, and instead of deferring to the defense that's been sensational, he says, let's make a statement. Let's go ahead and take it offensively.
Because he wants the ball in the hands of Deshaun Foster if they can get it there. But John Anderson probably is not going to kick it to him. He may want to kick that ball to Manny White. It's in the air, and it's high, and it's hanging, and it's at the 2-yard line, and it is fumbled by Foster in the end zone. He's going to try to run it out. He can't.
That's a safety, isn't it? Did he have possession of it, or did he muff it?
Well, they're going to call it a touchback.
They get a break, and it'll go out to the 20.
Jay Strickerts, the referee, signaled touchback right away, and out to the 20-yard line it comes. I thought it was a muff.
Well, you know what that is? That's the fact that he hasn't been back there doing this, and he was a little bit unsure of himself. Now he's looking up into the sun. He has not been doing this very often. Here comes the ball. He takes it high on his shoulder chest plate, his shoulder pad chest plate, and it comes off. Now he picks it up, and he's saying, all right, well, am I going to run it out?
No, ball went in. He took it in on its own, so it'll come back. That's a good call. Strickert's referee jumped right on it. And it's Washington lining up defensively with 7 people in the box, maybe 8 on the first carry of the ball game by Foster. He's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on the play. The quarterback for the UCLA Bruins, numbers on the year are very good, but the one that jumps out at you was no interceptions in 87 passes. 3 yards on the gain by Deshaun Foster. He is the big horse among the backs and receivers, and much of his work is done inside traffic. If you don't wrap him, you see a lot of his hip pocket. The receivers are speedy and big. Tight end moves to the other side. 2nd down and 7. Back to Foster it goes. Huskers jump all over him right about the line of scrimmage. The offensive There's a look at the backs and receivers we just talked about. Brian Fletcher is starting at tight end today. Paulie Dixon had a breakout game last week. Tab Perry is still a little iffy, having suffered a severe concussion up at Oregon State. Bryce Bolander among the offensive line people. He is the protector on the left-hand side. Troy Danoff, however, is the only senior in that entire offensive front for UCLA. We come up to third down and about 7 now, and Corey back to throw his first pass of the day. A little dump off that is off the hands of the intended receiver, Deshaun Foster. So not a particularly good first series for Deshaun, as the Huskies had him in their sights from the get-go.
This is a play I think we're going to see a lot of throughout the afternoon. They're going to try to get Deshaun Foster away from those 9 guys in the box and get him out in the flats, give him some space to run. You see who's out there, Larry Triplett, hustling out from that center position at nose tackle spot. Makes a pretty good play.
Fixie is in to punt it. Nate Fixie, and Charles Frederick is waiting back at the 30-yard line for the Huskies. Nate averaging better than 43 yards a punt. This is the low line drive, and it takes a bounce to the sidelines and goes out of bounds at about the 29-yard line, where the Huskies will have it. Now let's check in with John Saunders at Times Square Stadium.
Keith, pretty much everything went Miami's way today, except perhaps this. Watch the field goal. We watched one earlier that went for a touchdown for them. Michael Bulwer, 73 yards on this Burger King update for the touchdown. Florida State, though, is still going to come up on the short end, 49-27. Keith.
All right, here comes the first snap for Taylor Barton as a starting quarterback at the University of Washington. Turns and hands the ball to Willie Hurst, bounces off the stack and picks up about 1 yard on the carry. Barton was 11 of 20 passing in the second half against USC last Saturday. 2 touchdowns and a field goal in his handling of the team. His decision-making thought to be perhaps his biggest plus against the heady, tough Bruin defense today. Cody Pickett, dressed on the sidelines, is expected to do the holding. He's number 3. Bruins almost encroach. Passes away. Pass is completed. Caught by Paul Arnold. And Arnold is going to get it out very close. In fact, he is going to have a first down out at the 40-yard line.
There is a flag down, Keith, so we'll have to wait to see what that is. But that's a pass play you're going to see a lot of this afternoon. It's a quick 3-step drop. This is against UCLA, as you called, but that's a 3-step drop. And what that does is it makes those blitzes ineffective. Very difficult to get to a quarterback when he releases it that quickly.
They decline the penalty. They'll take the play. It's good for a first down. The Washington backs and receivers, solid 1-2 punch at tailback, Billy Hurst and Rich Alexis. They need some room to run, though, and it's going to be an interesting afternoon for the receivers against the Bruin secondary. The offensive front for the Huskies, it is anchored by Kyle Benn. It's, again, a relatively young offensive front, and they are going to be under siege today, I guarantee you. But it is a first down in their first possession at the 40-yard line. Barton back to throw. Good protection. Ball slips out of his hands and dropped by a UCLA defender. Robert Thomas, the middle linebacker, had a wounded goose interception, just dropping softly into his hands. Brandon Chiller was the run after Taylor Barton, and apparently Chiller got a piece of him as he released the ball.
Bruins got terrific pressure this time, and it was. They hit his arm. The ball should have been intercepted. Washington gets a huge break here, but look at the blitz coming from Chiller. Hits his arm. Now, Thomas tries to get it at its highest point. He can't. Right behind him is Jason Stevens, who actually had a better shot at it. And there's Marcus Anderson, but that ball should have been picked off. Big break for Barton.
When you're looking in that direction into that sun, though, it's almost impossible to see because it is really hot and bright. On second down and 10, Barton hit behind the line of scrimmage. The Bruins come storming in, and number 77, Rodney Leslie, pounded in. Ball came out, and the Bruins have recovered it.
Keith, already we've seen 2 blitzes. We've seen them shooting gaps. This is an aggressive defense that feels like it knows and can manhandle the Washington offense. That was a telling series. Watch 77 right there in the middle of your screen. Rodney Leslie just overpowered the guard and come in and make that play. They were shooting gaps. They're slanting. They're stemming. They're doing all kinds of things to give Washington problems. Washington is trying to count them and account for them, and so far is having problems doing that.
It looked like Kenyon Coleman was the man that came away with the ball after Leslie knocked it loose. And so here's UCLA now with the defense giving the offense a great opportunity. They give it to Deshaun Foster, and the Huskies gang up on him with very little gain on the play. Jamon Willis among the first to get there. The Washington defensive unit lines up in a three-man front. Roberson, Triplett, Stevens. Triplett the leader of that bunch. And then the linebackers, the outside backers, play like defensive ends. Zach Tuiasosopo, yep, younger brother of you-know-who. Madavi has been the warrior among that group so far this season. And in the secondary, Omari Lowe has been center stage all year. Greg Carruthers is a big hitter out of that bunch. Second down, about 9.5, and here comes your reverse with Craig Bragg carrying it to the sidelines, and a very good defensive play across the field by Omari Lowe. He is starstruck this season.
Spectacular play by Omari Lowe, and I'll tell you, he used his quickness that time to get by big Bruce Bolander, who is 295 pounds. Bolander misses the block right there on him. He stays out, keeps his leverage inside out, and makes the tackle, but he uses quickness to go around the big tackle Bolander.
It is 3rd down and 5 now for UCLA. The ball is on the Washington 27-yard line. Tab Perry is the man in motion. Falls back to throw it. Corey lets it go to the sideline. Has a man at the 19-yard line. Brian Coley-Dixon. He's wrestled down at the 15-yard line. And now here are the Jeep game solutions.
If you look at the Huskies, they've won 18 and lost 0 when they had the ball for 30 minutes or more. They're 4-6 when they've had it less than 30 minutes.
We've got to be able to hold our own, meaning that time of possession is going to be about the same, meaning that we don't get lopsided in turnovers. We can hang in there. And our hope is we get it to the fourth quarter, and we've been pretty good in the fourth quarter.
Yes, they have, but turnovers. And it's Deshaun Foster. A perfect example there, I think, of how he runs in traffic. He is so hard to bring down with nothing. You hit him, he bounces. You hit him, he slides. And he's got 4 or 5 yards before he goes down.
And he's going to be very important in what those coaches were talking about, time of possession. And Deshaun Foster is patient. He knows they're putting 8 and 9 in the box on him, and he knows he's going to have to find some running lanes, and he knows he's not going to be able to go north and south the whole time. But he's going to be patient. And he knows once they start passing and integrate that into the offense, things will open up.
2nd down and 5 from the 10-yard line. Double wide, top of your picture. Balls back to Foster. A little bit of daylight. Down to the 5. Down to the 4. The last time we saw a ball game here in the Rose Bowl was UCLA, Ohio State, and the Buckeyes stripped the ball. They tackled the ball all day and were successful doing it. So far, the Huskies have not been.
UCLA loves that play where they bring the guard and tackle from the opposite side, the counter tray. They show a lot of different formations to get that play in, and they get extra blockers in front of Deshaun Foster.
Ball is down on the 5-yard line where it is 1st and goal for the Bruins. To Foster. Touchdown.
Wow. He just ran over Jamon Willis. Just ran him over, Keith. That's the power in the running back we were talking about earlier. Says he grew up watching Earl Campbell. You tell me this is not Campbell-esque. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage. Right here, and then just runs over people to get into the end zone and goes in standing up.
Well, it's one to meet Davis. That's a little bit of a mismatch because Davis only weighs 170 pounds.
Well,
He's
Willis was right next to him.
He ran over Davis. So the Bruins cash in the turnover and take the lead over the Huskies 7-0 in the first quarter.
On June 6, 1944, American and Allied forces landed on Normandy beaches in the name of freedom and liberty. This fall, Jeep joins HBO in honoring all the men and women who served in the Second World War. HBO presents Band of Brothers.
I like that one. And I like that one too, though. But then this one might be better. What do you think? What are the tires for? Tire swing?
At Sears Auto Center, Michelin Weatherwise tires are on sale. America's #1 tire retailer, Sears. Where else?
No one spoils me like Mom does. But Olive Garden comes close with their never-ending pasta bowl. They make all these fresh, delicious homemade sauces, and then you pick which ones you want with which pastas for $7.95. You get all you want, too, just like at Mom's house. Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Mankind's greatest achievement became America's finest hour. The incredible story of the people who never gave up. Apollo 13, tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC.
ABC's Too Much Tuesday. Spin City's now at 9, 8 Central.
This is huge.
With Lori Loughlin and TMI. Too much information. What's going on?
I just started to date Carter's best friend, and now he wants her to carry his gay baby.
Then Bob Patterson, revealing way too much.
Your package, Mr. P.
Excuse me?
Don't span a rod and spoil this child.
Too much. Spin City's new time, 9, 8 Central. Then Bob Patterson, ABC Tuesday.
UCLA, Deshaun Foster, the first rushing touchdown against the Washington Huskies since the Bruins played them a year ago. And Foster scored 2. Fixie will kick it off now for the Huskies, and Rock Alexander and Charles Frederick will be waiting.
Still got some more to come, Yeah. What's up, everybody?
9:51 to go in the first quarter. Fixie hits it. He's only had 6 returned to this entire season. He hooks this one out of bounds. The Huskies have the ball out at the 35-yard line. Dallas and Washington. That's on ABC's Monday Night Football this coming Monday at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific on ABC. And Dennis, bring your A material this week. Al and Dan are going to give you a lot of time.
I think the Redskins and Cowboys are going to give you a lot of time. Both teams have been very inept. It's going to be interesting here, Keith, to see how Taylor Barton responds after that last series. Had his arm hit one time, almost picked off, and then, of course, the fumble gives the Bruins a turnover. So they're not off to a good start, and a lot of that's going to be seen through the eyes and the confidence of Taylor Barton.
Kind of interesting, Tim, that the first pressure came outside, second pressure came inside. Phil Snow's got him playing games. Barton turns and gives the ball to Willie Hurst. And Willie is from this region, comes up to the 37-38-yard line. Robert Thomas, the tackle.
No question that Taylor Barton is a very talented guy. You see his numbers from high school, and you see what he did last year in San Francisco in his junior college year. But here's a guy that played in Colorado. He's recruited twice by Neuheisel. He's a very, very confident quarterback.
Second down, Hurst again, and this time Willie finds a little bailout on the right side and gets it out to about the 43-yard line. Matt Ware makes the tackle. The defensive front for the UCLA Bruins, and this is a big difference in the ball club. Coleman, Coker back healthy, Leslie and Ball. This is a very tough group. Linebackers are having a field day, and particularly the guy there in the middle, Robert Thomas. In the defensive secondary, thunder and lightning with Marcus Anderson and Stevens at the safeties. Anderson, incredibly strong individual. Third down at about 2. Willie Hurst is taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Robert Thomas.
One thing that Thomas is doing better this year than he ever has is if a lineman moves, he's going right off his hip, and he's finding the open area. They still run the 4-3 scheme, but boy, do they do it more aggressively. Here we come. We're coming right in this way, right through the middle. Watch him come off the open area, right off the hip of the guard, free, untouched, and makes the tackle. Robert Thomas is having one heck of a year. He's been all over the field in the first 4 games.
Derek McLaughlin is in to punt for Washington. He is a freshman, averaging better than 43 yards per kick. The kick is away. He didn't get all of it. The bounce is good for him, however. It bounces off Manning, and Manning almost lost that football. It bounced behind him, and he had to hurry to get a hold of it.
You know, partner, one thing that the Washington coaches were talking about last night, they said that UCLA, if there is a weakness, they've been sloppy with the football all year. They looked at the Ohio State tape. They saw Deshaun Foster putting it on the ground. They talked about Rick Manning with punts and how sloppy he is with the ball, how he bobbles it, and how he doesn't take care of the ball. And they said that if they could capitalize on that, then they would be in this ball game at the end. And Bobby Houck is counting on that, the special teams coach that we talked to last night.
So the Bruins will start this possession from their 15-yard line. Balls gives to Foster. He's out to about the 20. Houdini Jackson, defensive end or outside linebacker, leads the tacklers. Houdini Jackson.
Even though plays offensively for UCLA that don't look like they're getting a lot of yardage are picking up 5 yards. This brings up 2nd down and 5, which means they can open the playbook and let's go.
2nd down and 6 for the Bruins. Hall still got it. Play action pass is complete to the fullback. Jeremiah Stansbury coming out of the backfield, and the big fella makes the catch and picks up a 1st down for the Bruins out around the 35-yard line. Omari Lowe shaken up.
Stansbury's 6'2", 256 pounds. They're using their fullbacks more this year than in the past. Jeremiah Stansbury came in as a quarterback. That's the type of athlete he is, even though he's big. And Omari Lowe, if he can't come back in, that's a huge loss.
Yeah, he's hurt his right shoulder. Chris Massey, Rock Alexander. So the UCLA Bruins with the 1st down at their own 35-yard line after cashing in a Washington fumble for a touchdown. Here's a long pass down the sidelines. It is complete. Beautiful catch by Brian Coley-Dixon. They went for the bundle, and Coley-Dixon at 6'5" and great speed made a great catch.
Great catch and a terrific throw. Coley-Dixon is just on a one-on-one fly, and Corey Pauls puts enough air under this that he just lets him go out and get it. A perfect layout, fingertip control. Coley-Dixon took a lot of heat the first several games. They said he wasn't holding on to the ball. They really challenged him in practice this past week. I think he had his coming out 2 weeks ago against Oregon State with a good game, but that right there is a terrific catch.
33 yards on the play. Hands the ball off. Around the left side they go. They found something over there. Massey finally comes up from the boundary side to make the tackle at cornerback, but he handed that ball off on a little delay on a sweep to Deshaun Foster. And don't ever doubt that this big guy, Foster, once you give him a crack and give him open field, he can move it.
Deceptive speed. One of the fastest guys on the team, and he's just a long strider, so it doesn't look like that. That was almost like a sucker play. They lined up all the strength to the right side, actually looked like they were going to the right, and he took that step, as you mentioned, and came back to the left and let Washington defenders run themselves out of the play.
Lowe is back in. He had a little stinger apparently, and he's able to shake it off and come back in at cornerback for Washington. It is 1st down at the 21-yard line of the Huskies. The Bruins threatening to stick another one on the scoreboard. This is Foster. Touchdown. Oh, you don't think he doesn't have his neck bowed?
You could tell when we talked to him Thursday. Keith spent a lot of time with him. We said, you know, they haven't given up a rushing touchdown, and he smiled at us and then got that little snare in his face. Watch how many times he's hit. For my money, this is the best back in the country right here. There's a pretty good lick, but they don't wrap, and you better wrap your arms against Deshaun Foster. Breaks 3 tackles to get the touchdown.
His 2nd touchdown of the day. That one covered 21 yards. The kick is good. At 5 minutes and 52 seconds to play in the 1st quarter, UCLA goes 85 yards and 5 plays to lead 14-0.
Hey, looks like it's going to be a great race.
Yeah, I guess.
You're new around here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
It goes like this. I face my ride. I take it to the top. Cause I want it. You need it. This will not be tonight. But I'll take a little time and I'm never gonna stop.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Good race. Thanks.
Make it a Bud Light.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
The cars from Chrysler. Exhilarating performance, incredible engineering, and of course, eye-catching designs.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
These aerial pictures courtesy of the Goodyear blimp Eagle, based down in Carson, California. Goodyear operating 5 airships around the world, 3 in the U.S., 1 in Europe, and the Spirit of the Americas in South America. The pilot, Tom Mattis, and the cameraman is Javier Estrella. So UCLA looking utterly dominant here in the early going. They cashed in a turnover, scored from 32 yards. They've gone 85 yards, and Fixie kicks the ball way back into the end zone. There will be no return. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. Valvoline's Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. And Thrifty Car Rental. Great cars, great rates at over 1,200 locations worldwide. Thrifty Car Rental.
It's early in the ball game, but I think this is a terrifically important series for this offense. They're on the verge of getting blown out of here.
Got a new tailback. Mitch Alexis comes in, replacing Willie Hurst. Barton looking to throw. Roll out, buys time, pulls it down, takes off. Eludes one and goes out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Now let's spend a moment with Todd Harris.
Well, Keith, if Taylor Barton continues to run like that, Rick Neuheisel may have to make a decision. I talked to him before the game about the status of Cody Pickett. He said, is it a completely conditional decision? That was the exact words. He said, we will not decide on whether to use him or not. It just depends on what's happening in the game. They will try to use him as holding to keep the rust off him, but they do not want to use Casey Paws if they don't have to.
Yeah, they want to redshirt him. It would seem to be a waste if they couldn't. It certainly would help, probably help Casey. Barton back, turns and hands the ball to Alexis, and UCLA just eats him up short of the line of scrimmage. The loss was back from the 27 to about the 24.
There's the defensive coordinator, Phil Snow, and he has just been terrific this year in his play calling. It's not necessarily the blitz package, which certainly is important, but it's when you call it. And they're calling him the Blizzard of Westwood because they're bringing guys from everywhere. He scrapped the nickel package, but I mean, folks, they are an aggressive defense. And you watch every time there's a ball carrier, there's 4 or 5 blue jerseys around it.
Now let's see if they decide to go to Reggie Williams on this play. He's number 1. He's outside top of your picture. Ricky Manning is covering at 6'5" against 5'9". He goes the other way with it, and the pass is thrown well and caught by Paul Arnold. And Arnold is up for a first down for the Huskies beyond the 30-yard line. Matt Ware covering. They decided to go to Ware against Ware, the freshman from Malibu, instead of the veteran Manning.
Taylor Barton never looked off. He looked that way the whole time. Now, Arnold is the one that makes this because he gets good position, and then he puts the defender behind him and shields him from the ball. Great play by Arnold to shield him off. But look, Arnold's looking over there. I mean, Barton's looking over, never looked off his receiver. That could come back to haunt him.
Ball at the 31-yard line for a first down. 14-0 UCLA in the first quarter. Barton gives the ball to Alexis. Leslie was there inside the line of scrimmage before he ever really got his feet planted and started. Losses back to the 29-yard line. Tomorrow at 2 Eastern, 3 Pacific, 4 decades of America's champions come together to pay tribute to the 1961 U.S. World Figure Skating team. Peggy Fleming, Dick Button hosting an all-star cast of performers, including the likes of Scott Hamilton, Michelle Kwan, Nancy Kerrigan, Christy Yamaguchi, Brian Portano, Tara Lipinski. Ball's on the 29-yard line, 2nd down and 12 for the Huskies. Barton got happy feet, pulled it down and took off. And he got it up to the original line of scrimmage, and that's all. He had a man breaking down the middle, downfield, but committed himself, never saw it.
He had to get away from the 3-step drop, and he goes 5 or 7. These guys are going to be bearing down on him. You see the numbers here. They lead the Pac-10, UCLA does. His only chance today is take a 3-step drop and release the ball quickly before the blitz gets to him. That time they didn't even blitz, but the front 7 was coming hard, and they're defeating the offensive line of Washington.
3rd and 10. Shotgun. Trying to buy him some time. Well, the Bruins are 3 of them there. There were no Huskies there at all. And for the second time today, I think Robert Thomas has dropped the football when it could have been an interception. Dave Ball was the man who was coming right down the barrel at Taylor Barton.
He felt him too. I don't know if he hit his arm, but that ball was just fluttering like a duck. And it should have been picked off. You're right. That's the second one. Got so many defenders around there. They're going to have to fair catch.
Yes,
here comes Ball from behind. And
yelling, mine,
got that
mine,
left
mine.
hand. Yeah.
Somebody's got to be the center fielder. McLaughlin's under punt. Got pressure. They block it. Pick it up. And it's touchdown. UCLA. Marcus Reese. Jabril Ramo is, we think, the man who picked it up and took it into the end zone. Ramo, number 23.
He's another one of those freshmen. Another freshman. This is a true freshman. It came in hard. They outnumbered him on the right side, overpowered him in the middle, and Ramo, who's a little guy who plays safety, came right up the gut. Well, usually that's Washington making those plays.
Extra point try now for the Bruins. And it's good. So Chris Griffith knocks it right through, and with 2:08 to go in the first quarter of play, it's tough for the Huskies. 21-0 the Bruins.
I'm Dell Enterprise. Servers, storage, and premier services. Sure, I keep your critical apps up and running. Microsoft, i2, SAP. But first I work with you directly to preload and pre-test them, so they scream from day one. How fast can I deploy your critical apps? How fast can you plug me in? Rapid deployment, maximum uptime. Easy as Dell. Dell PowerEdge servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
ABC Sunday, 2 of television's best, back to back at 9/8 Central.
I am holding plutonium here.
She's living a double life, working as a double agent.
My days of blindly following orders are over.
Alias. Then at 10/9 Central.
That's what they have to be afraid of.
Don't miss this award-winning drama, The Practice.
You got till tomorrow.
Just give me the money, please. Go, baby, go!
It's an all-new Alias, followed by an all-new Practice. This Sunday starting at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Rivals collide. Emmitt Smith is climbing the record books. Washington aims to shut him down. Skims, Cowboys, Monday Night Football, 9/6 Pacific on ABC.
You guys
21-0. Deshaun Foster just tearing him up today. And I don't think anybody suspected this kind of an explosion from the Bruins. But you're looking at the makings of a pretty doggone good football team, folks. There's the man that blocked the kick. Marcus Reese Jr. out of San Jose.
Reese blocked it. Ramo picks it up. Just a true freshman gets the touchdown.
Nate Fixie will kick it off now. And it's going to go out of bounds. That's the second time he's hooked it out of bounds. So he's trying to knock it beyond the field of play, and he's hooked it out twice.
Keith, let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. And of course, you got to talk about Deshaun Foster just running over Davis, and Willis misses a tackle. You see number 6 here, Willis pushing him into the end zone. So difficult to bring down if you don't wrap, if you don't grab cloth, if you don't take him head on, and very rarely does he give you his whole body to hit. But 9 carries, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty impressive for Deshaun Foster here early in the game.
UCLA has battered the quarterbacks this whole season. Belisari of Ohio State and Smith of Oregon State totaled only 16 completions in 55 attempts and took a physical pounding. Now Taylor Barton is tasting that same stuff here today. Really quick. There's that little quick 3-step pop. And Reggie Williams makes his first catch of the day. He didn't get a whole lot out of it because the Bruins jump all over him with Matt Ware covering on the play, but they get something. And right now the Huskers will take something.
Reggie Williams is somebody that they've been aware of all week. And why? Because they watch tape. Watch the body control that this freshman has. 6'4", 215 pounds. He uses that. Look here. Like Baryshnikov in cleats, goes up and over to make that catch. And just very, very strong, agile, young receiver.
2nd down and 6 for the Huskies as Alexis goes in motion. No remaining backs behind Barton. Gets it away in a hurry. Thrown over to Paul Arnold, who is a converted running back, and he will pick up maybe a yard or so, and that's all. The defense is just fierce by UCLA today. They're just everywhere.
You know, Keith, UCLA still uses the 4-3 scheme that they have last year, the year before in the past, but they rotate players up front in that front 7. They use very few situational substitutions. They've scrapped the nickel package completely, and they blitz from everywhere. Now they've had some success in this defense. First stringers haven't given up a touchdown in 10 quarters, and now they're very confident.
3rd down and 4 for the Huskies. Ball at the 41-yard line. Well, he chose to throw the ball to the boundary side to Wilbur Hooks, and Matt Ware had pinched Hooks to the point where there was just simply no hole to get the ball to him. And it'll bring up 4th down and a punt. Next Saturday, ABC Sports brings you college football regional action, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Stanford at Oregon, Penn State at Northwestern, North Carolina State at Georgia Tech, and the most meaningful game in the Big 12. Check your local listing. Stanford is a team you want to keep your eye on, I think. Derek McLaughlin, who was blocked the last time, low snap, got out a low line drive punt. It's bounding around, and it's going to roll dead down inside the 15-yard line at the 14. Ricky Manning had no chance at that one.
But again, he's hanging around that ball too long, Keith. When it hits the ground, he ought to just clear. Instead, he's looking for that bounce and thinks that maybe he can get it on the bounce and pick it up and run with it. Nearly cost him early in the game when it hit him.
Ricky doing a little lobbying there with the official. He's good at that. Umpire is Dave McCullough. Head linesman Cleo Robinson. Line judge Chuck Zubin. Colin McDermott is the side judge. Field judge Jack Erb. And Terry Wilson the back judge. And the referee, as we told you, is Jay Strickers. They put the ball at the 19-yard line. And a little loop down the sidelines. Incomplete. Pass intended for Paulie Dixon. They played one of those a while ago and got 33 yards out of it. This time Omari Lowe spoiled it.
It's the pass that Corey Paws throws the best, though, is the deep ball. Where he has struggled is underneath with the short, definitive passes. I'm surprised he didn't go after this with 2 hands like he did the first time. Well, his right hand was tied up, though. That's with Omari Lowe. That was the problem. And that's why he got up calling for pass interference.
Ball is just short of the 19-yard marker. 2nd down and 10 for UCLA. Deshaun Foster, who's had a little rest. And that's bad news. He just ran thunderously over the left side and through the traffic and picked up about 8 yards. We played a quarter at the Rose Bowl. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and the word from our ABC station.
When you put passion into everything you build, it's hard to just let go.
It's okay. They're all going to good homes.
It's not for sale. No.
Some things are just too good to let go of. That's why there's Valvoline Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. Max Life conditions use seals to help prevent leaks and helps you hold on to your car for a long, long time.
Don't even think about it.
Valvoline Max Life.
Does the world really need another mid-sized family sedan? It does if it's redesigned with V6 power, room for 5, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. Introducing the new Sonata from Hyundai.
Terrorist-issued Social Security numbers. Channel 2 investigates Monday at 5.
The man on the left would have started had he not had a shoulder separation last Saturday. Taylor Barton, who did start, has been pummeled pretty well in the first quarter of play. Here's the man waiting, Casey Paws. Nancy Paws, the wife of Corey and Casey, here today watching the ball game. And she said that one of her mortal fears is to have the two sons playing against each other. Here's Corey letting it go deep. And it is caught. No, they say he didn't catch it. Pab Perry had it, and then he didn't have it as Rock Alexander covered on the play.
What ball handling by Corey Paws, though, to make that play work, or almost work. Man, was that sweet with play action on 3rd and short. Everybody in the house expecting a run to pick up the first, and they go for the home run ball. You can do that when you're up 21-0.
So that'll bring up 4th and 2, and the Bruins will punt for the first time today. Second time today, I'm sorry. Nate Fixie averaging right at 43.5 yards. And waiting for it is Charles Frederick. He's the freshman out of Florida, looking up into that hot, bright sun. It's a low kick, though, and it's angled for the sidelines, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Burger King, home of the Whopper. Aflac, without it, no insurance is complete. And Circuit City, we know how you feel, that's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And we are not in Hollywood, we are in Pasadena. That's a reflection on the other side of the hill.
And here in Pasadena, it is hot, partner.
Here's Washington now from the 30-yard line as Barton turns, gets protection this time, and throws incomplete right through the hands of the intended receiver, Reggie Williams. He was having a hard time finding a white shirt to throw it to.
Only sent out one receiver, that being Williams, and right now they're just locked on the receivers. Barton is leading the defenders to the ball.
He got a flag. Probably holding.
Watch his head, Keith. Here's the play action. Now he locks on the receiver, never comes off of him. Right now the defenders are reading his eyes, reading his head, and they're all going that direction for the greeting.
Yeah, but it's interesting how far above everybody else Williams was.
Oh, I don't think anybody will question his athletic ability. He's going to be a great one.
Tripping against the Huskies.
You hate to put pressure on a freshman, but he certainly has the ability to be one of the all-time greats in this conference. Just watching the way he utilizes his body to make catches and all his athletic ability.
21-0 in the ball game here in the second quarter of play. The UCLA Bruins had a bombastic first quarter. For the Huskies now, first down and 25 as they come back inside their own 15-yard line. Barton quickly down the sidelines, throwing for Reggie Williams. He was out of bounds.
That's illegal. He can't chuck him out of bounds.
You hear the voice of Rick Neuheisel saying that's illegal. You can't chuck him out of bounds. He was riding his hip pocket and actually trying to force him out. Good no call by the linesman over there. That's good positioning by the defender.
Second down and 25. That's Hurst. Nothing doing. Marcus Anderson hit him right on the numbers and stopped him.
Watch. They pull the guard. They try to get him in front of Hurst. UCLA defeats it, takes on the blocker, leaves the middle open, and they make the tackle. You can see what the numbers are on Marcus Anderson. He's got he is a super guy. He's got almost a freak of nature. I mean, you see his size is only 6 feet 214, and yet his vertical jump's 42 inches. That's standing still. Broad jump 10.7. Normal vertical jump for a great athlete would be like 35. And then you see the weight that he lifts off that small frame. Incredible strength and speed.
Third down and 26 for Washington. Reggie Williams incomplete, hit twice. Marcus Anderson got the biggest piece of him.
And there's Rick Neuheisel again saying Marcus Anderson hit him out of bounds. I'll tell you this, Reggie Williams really got tagged. You make the call. Here he is on the sidelines. He's got the ball. He's still in bounds. Here comes Marcus Anderson. He was still in bounds when the contact was made.
Now McLaughlin is going to go to the end zone to punt. UCLA with Craig Bragg waiting should get good field position out of this. Bragg does not have to look at the hot sun to see the ball. McLaughlin, a low spinning kick. Bragg's got some room, and he's tracked down by Rock Alexander. 21-0. UCLA leads it after a 40-yard punt and a 3-yard return. Bruins in the middle of the field with the ball.
Hey, you want to switch?
Sure. Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche. The only vehicle that switches from an SUV to a pickup.
Good idea.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
Look, I know Circuit City's doing this expo thing, but we're busy. Get what you need, we're out of here. Agreed?
Yes.
Kevin!
We know how you feel.
It's Expo 2001. 30 days of non-stop demonstrations of what's hot and what's next in electronics. September 30th through October 31st. Circuit City, we're with you.
The Pacific 10 Conference. Its academic excellence and athletic prowess are as great as the area it encompasses. Stretching from the state of Washington in the Northwest to Arizona in the Southwest. Unparalleled in athletic success, the Pac-10 has won more NCAA championships than any other conference. The 10 members have been providing the best in quality higher education for more than a century. The Pac-10, the Conference of Champions.
Stanford, Oregon, or other regional action next Saturday on ABC.
You can see that that is a high sky. Bright hot sun, temperature in the middle 90s. As the old devil wind is blowing again. UCLA owns the football, first down on their own 49-yard line, leading in the ball game 21-0 with 13.5 minutes to go in the first half. They have dominated the football game. Deshaun Foster has it. Oh, what a block on the corner that got him going.
They've got to throw a flag on that. He was way out of bounds when he got hit.
Remia Stansberry threw a block to get him going, and he was rolled out of bounds, and the flag followed it. Tack on 15. Nothing going very well for the Huskies right now.
No, but that's his favorite play. He told us Thursday, where they slant down. He's patient. He looks for a hole. He can even cut back if he wants. Here, 3 steps out of bounds, and he's hit down by the knee. Extremely dangerous.
Carruthers tracking on the play as the man had hit him.
Watch how far out of bounds he is. Taking his 3rd step. That'll just get Rick Neuheisel going, because he called for 2 of those in the last series for Washington.
It was Biddle that followed him out of bounds and pushed him down. 2 it was, not Carruthers. But they put the ball down on the 25-yard line, where it's first down for UCLA. A hot, hot day in the Rose Bowl. And when you have things happening to you like happening to the Huskies, it can melt you down. Fullback gets it this time, and nothing doing. You know what? Omari Lowe steps up and makes the tackle on the big fullback, Remia Stansberry. Now time for the Aflac trivia question. This week's question: how many of the 10 head coaches of the ESPN USA Today top 10 teams were offensive coaches in their last job before they became head coaches? Is it 3, 5, or 7? I know.
You're like the devil today.
Second down and 11. Paul's looking to throw it. Goes outside with it. Pass is completed to Coley Dixon. And Coley Dixon, cranking up his season over the last couple of games, takes it down to about the 20-yard line.
Watch how after he makes the catch, he feels the defender and goes away from his momentum. Here comes the ball. Here's the catch. Feels the momentum and actually comes back inside, so he overruns the play. UCLA doesn't have anybody among the conference reception leaders. Last year, Freddie Mitchell, there he is, plays for the Eagles. Freddie Mitchell was the big play go-to guy. This season, everybody is making big plays, and now Coley Dixon is coming alive for UCLA.
He's posing again. 3rd down and 5. Over the middle it goes. Caught.
Fumble.
Fumbled, and Washington got it. I think. Yes, they do. Madabi. Ben Madabi. His first big play of the day. A really solid whack.
And he was
on the fullback.
And he was reading his keys, because he's got the fullback all the way. Here comes Remia Stansberry, and then here comes the lick. And I mean to tell you, that was a lick. Put him on his back and just knocked the ball loose. But again, that's the problem that UCLA has had. They have not taken care of the football like they should have. And that's what Washington was counting on coming in. Let's see if they can capitalize on the turnover. It certainly stopped what looked like was going to be another score on that drive anyway.
Time remaining in the first half, 11:51.
How about those numbers? 9 lost.
Taylor Barton trying to find a way for the Huskies. Little pump, passes away, thrown downfield, completed to Arnold. And Arnold will haul it all across midfield. And the Huskies now, for the first time, on the UCLA side, possessing the ball. Manning and Stevens made the defensive play. Arnold was a running back and had a bad back. He just simply could not play that position, so he went and tried his luck at being a wide receiver and liked it, and is playing like this.
That pump right there sold Manning, and then the safety, Stevens, was late getting over there. Here's Manning was beaten. He ran by him. Here comes the safety is late, and the ball was perfectly thrown in between the two of them.
Arnold has caught 4 balls now for 55 yards. That played good for 36. Barton runs out of the box, gets a little bit of daylight, and then takes some punishment after a 2-yard pickup with Marcus Reese, the first man to get him.
Running the quarterback is certainly part of their offensive package. And I mean, gosh, with Marcus Tuiasosopo last year, he was one of the best runners in the country. But you know, I'm not sure when you have one quarterback that's available and another that you're trying to redshirt that you want him running a whole lot.
Well, didn't Rick Neuheisel say last night when you were talking to him that he didn't want to expose him any more than he had to?
No, that's right. But you know, when it's part of your offense, you don't want to get away from that either.
Pretty hard to hide from this Bruin bunch. Like where they're playing defense now. Anderson comes up to the line of scrimmage and comes after him, and the pass is away, and the pass is caught by Reggie Williams right on the sideline. He used that big body to shield Ricky Manning away at 6'5" against 5'9".
It's 2 in a row, too.
Like Coach Stagg once said, big fast people beat little fast people.
Well, they're coming up to the line because they really thought Williams, and studying films, they say he has a tough time getting off the bump on the line. His skills, his technique isn't really strong yet for a freshman, but he got away that time, and if he gets away, you're right, that height advantage works really in his favor, especially against Manning.
Ball's on the 30-yard line. We're at the first down. This is the best possession the Huskies have had in the ballgame.
Terrific drive.
Barton back, looking again. Got time. Passes away to the end zone. Intercepted. Matt Ware. And Ware takes it down to a knee, and they'll bring it out. There's a penalty flag back up here around the line of scrimmage, too. Let's see about that. Pretty good fight for that football in the end zone with Ware coming away with it.
It was, again, though, he locked on. You could tell where he was going to throw. He led the defenders over there, and when you put a little bit of air under it and you have defenders time to get there, boy, somebody's going to pick it off eventually.
Jason Stevens slapped it loose, and Matt Ware was in the right place at the right time.
Paul Arnold and Dave Ball getting into it a little bit in the end zone.
Interception. Foul. Penalty being enforced after this is the goal.
Personal foul against UCLA. A little bit unusual, too. UCLA ranks first in the Pac-10 in fewest penalties. They're penalized less, I guess, than any other team in the Pac-10. Average of 4.5 a game. But they had 4 personal fouls that we saw, Keith, against Oregon State. And here's another one.
10:05 to go in the first half of play. 21-0. UCLA leading Washington.
Play Cash is King at Burger King for a chance to become a millionaire.
First class, baby. I'm paid. I'm gonna get one of these, only bigger. We should do this every day. You gonna let me park it? I think it's stuck in neutral. I'm the king of the world. Uh-oh.
Play Cash is King at Burger King. Peel for a chance at great prizes, from tasty food like a Whopper or crust sandwich to a cool $1 million. With a 1 in 3 chance to win, the odds are on your side.
My man.
I made my money off investments.
I made mine off a cup.
Want to try that triple Lutz?
What the heck? I got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
A Lutz?
No, that something insurance.
Even the best insurance doesn't give you cash for things like lost pay and other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Change for $1.
Sure.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche. The only vehicle that changes from an SUV to a pickup.
Thanks.
Chevy Avalanche, like a rock.
Dave Ball's lucky he hasn't been kicked out of the ball game. I personally think he should have, because this is what happened after the quarterback had thrown the ball. Comes in and hits him. Now watch.
That first hit was legal. This one's not. Hit him late. Came over top of him. We'll show it to you again. But the first hit is legal. He's within a step, couldn't stop his momentum, takes him down. Then somebody yells bingo, the ball's been intercepted. So the good thing is, dude, get up and get a block, but not like this. Watch, he comes up behind Barton. Now watch this. Like a sledgehammer on his head, just takes him back down. Personal foul, half the distance, so instead of being on the 20, they took it back to the 10.
He should be in the clubhouse. Ball is on the 11-yard line, where it is 2nd down and 9, UCLA's ball. It's Foster working in the middle, up close to the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down.
With a 21-0 lead, UCLA thinking time of possession, melt the clock, shorten the game. Both coaches talked about it coming in, but now you almost have to throw because you got to get first downs.
Inside 9 minutes to go in the first half now. This one of the big ball games of the entire season in the Pac-10 Conference. Manuel White is in there now for the Bruins at tailback. Oh, he's in there with Foster. So White would be your fullback and Deshaun would be your tailback. And a little shovel pass, incomplete forward pass. Tried to shovel it ahead and somebody wasn't there to catch it.
Yeah, no question it was a broken play, miscommunication. There was absolutely no receiver there. As a matter of fact, they went left. Watch this. He drops back. He's looking for help. Here comes Deshaun, who got knocked off his route there by Roberson, 98. He wasn't there, so it wasn't really a broken play. It was just broken up by Roberson.
And so here's Fixie in to punt. And Charles Frederick is waiting. The Huskies ought to get pretty good field position out of this if he handles the ball all right. You've got to look up into that high sky, though. This is a high punt. It's a howitzer. It is a rainbow. And Frederick lost sight of it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Out of bounds, right about the 28-yard line. Huge punt. 65 yards by Fixie. Earlier, we asked you the Aflac trivia question. You can read the question again. I'm tired of reading it. And the answer is 7. 71 coaches in Division I were offensive coaches, and 46 of them were defensive coaches.
Well, offensive coaches have the rules in their favor. They let the offensive linemen use their hands. They took away the bump and run.
Both these guys were quarterbacks. Bob and Rick, quarterbacks. So the Huskies, instead of getting particularly good field position, after that massive punt by Fixie, start on the 20 and will give the ball to Rich Alexis. And he can't get back to the 20. Well, I know that we're saying the 71 of them are offensive coaches, but what about the coach of the national champions, defending national champions?
Defensive coach.
There you go.
Beamer, Virginia Tech, defensive coach.
8 minutes to go in the first quarter. 2nd down and 10 for the Huskies, and they have been pummeled. Oregon out to a 21-0 lead over California. Mike Bellotti was really grinding on the Ducks this week about being careful and getting up and paying attention to California, because that's a tough place to play. It looks like they were listening after they blew away Arizona last week. Barton's pass down the middle is tipped away. Great play by Marcus Anderson. That might have been 6 points if Anderson doesn't touch it. Arnold was streaking down the middle. He's got great speed, and Anderson just got a piece of it.
Alexis does a nice job of picking up the blitz and gives him a little extra time to throw. You see on the right-hand side of your screen, Stevens was picked up, so he had plenty of time to throw, but here comes the other safety, Anderson, who reads it all the way. And again, he's not looking off his receivers, and the defensive backs are reading his eyes. He's leading them right to the football.
3rd down and 10. Kenyon Coleman, senior, Altaloma, 6'6" and 288, and healthy.
Keith, a lot of that is strength. Right now, they're just overpowering that offensive line. Watch all the blue jerseys. The white jerseys are coming backwards, and then they squeeze from the outside. Terrific speed and strength by UCLA.
McLaughlin punting from his 5-yard line. Hangs it up in the air for Craig Bragg. Bragg is tripped from behind and goes down inside the 35-yard line of Washington. That was a 45-yard punt, but a 26-yard return.
Manning was having a tough time fielding the punt earlier, so they come in with Bragg. Bragg gets a great center return, gets a lot of blocks, and for a minute it looked like he was going to break it. And the white jerseys don't look like they're getting after it. Bragg has terrific speed for a young guy.
.6:46 to go in the first half. 21-0 Bruins. Great field position for Paws. Loads up, goes to the right side, throws it low, and do they give him the catch? I don't think so.
Yeah, he's got it.
No, there's a flag, 2 flags back up here at the line of scrimmage.
Well, depending on the flag, but they gave him the catch.
They've pointed at, they've marked it down there. You're right. They've given it to him.
The way UCLA's coming back, though, it looks like it's against the Bruins.
We're going to have to buy Jay a new microphone for Christmas. The Sprint PCS game fact: the UCLA Bruins have harvested the 4th quarter this season, 44-0. Their games played, while Washington has profited well in the 4th quarter. They're going to have some kind of a big old 4th quarter in this one, because they gave up 21 in the first.
Yeah, UCLA scores well in the 3rd. And they've been outscored 21-7 in the 4th. Wow.
So the penalty moves the football back to the 45-yard line, where it is first down and 20. Foster's a deep man, and he's got it. Down to the 30-yard line.
Talked a lot about Deshaun Foster, what makes him special. One thing we haven't talked about is his vision. He sees the hole, cuts back to the left. Now watch, he sees the whole field, makes guys miss, never offers up his entire body for the tackler. Sees the blockers, cuts back. Look at these numbers. Only Ohio State had a pretty good day against him, and that's because he kept putting the ball on the ground, got away from him 4 times. He's not a chronic fumbler. That was almost, it was unusual for him to put it on the floor that much, but today, 96 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And it's 2nd down and 6 now after that run. Corey Paws keeps it, rolls out to buy time, lets it go down the sidelines, and it is incomplete. Intended for Mike Seidman, the tight end, and there's a penalty flag.
Looked like Carruthers actually pushed him from behind and grabbed his leg. Somehow there was contact from behind. All right, now watch Carruthers in the white shirt, loses his footing, takes that, well, a little contact there, but nothing big. I think they were both losing their footing. Both starting to lose their balance.
That's a 15-yard penalty in college football.
Which is a good play. If you're beaten badly, go ahead and interfere with the guy, because you, instead of giving up the touchdown, you only give up 15 yards. So they're actually taught, if you're beaten, try to grab him.
So the Bruins will have a first down, knocking on the door one more time at 6 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the first half on a hot day in Pasadena.
How unusual is it, Keith? And we've seen these guys for a long time. UCLA ranks 1st in the Pac-10 in rushing, last in passing. That's a flip-flop from a year ago.
Absolute 180 degrees. fullback. Ermias Stansberry. I'll get his name right one of these years. Keep walking around it long enough, I'll get it right.
Just call him Edmund like his father does. Edmund?
Big fella. I'll do what Parsegian used to do to Tuiasa Sopo and Mare Malauna. Big fella. Ball is on the 13-yard line. Closer to the 13 than the 12, but 12 is the next marker, so that's where it goes down at second down.
Triplett saw something.
Larry saw somebody wiggle and was coming. At least he thought he saw somebody wiggle. Larry Triplett, senior out of Los Angeles. He's had a great career at Washington.
Offside on the defense.
First and 10 today, provided by Chevy Trucks.
Larry Triplett gets double teamed so much, Keith. I think he's trying to anticipate the count to get that early jump, try to beat the double team, and that'll happen to you.
Larry's only 6'1", and that may be a bit of a problem for him to the next level, but he's a great player. Falls gives it to Foster, and he's down to the 2-yard line. The ball tumbled into the end zone. The Huskies recover it. The ball was knocked loose, and Wandamit Davis dove on it and recovered it for Washington, and they dodge a bullet.
If there is a problem, if there is a weakness, that's it. We talk about him being the best after contact, but to keep his balance after contact, the ball gets away from his body, and occasionally he'll lose it. You saw it get away, here it gets away again, and here comes the hit from the secondary. And, you know, you've got to protect the ball, especially inside the 5, but you see how it gets away from him there? And then the hit comes and knocks it loose. You've got to keep it next to your body. You have to wrap it up inside. You can put 2 hands on it. And Neuheisel all over it. Encouraging the guys, keep the chin up, stay after it, and they get the turnover for the touchback and bring it out to the 20.
That is the second UCLA fumble inside the Washington 15-yard line. So you can figure that probably is 10 points at least, if not 14, that they put it away. This is Rich Alexis.
You know, Keith, you make the point there that they've given up 10 points. If you look at the statistics in the game against UCLA, between UCLA and Ohio State, you look at it and say, oh, well, UCLA must have won it by 40 points. But they put the ball down, fumbled it 4 different times, gave it up to UCLA. I mean, Ohio State kept them in the game. In the same situation this afternoon.
Well, Washington has been able to generate very little offense so far, but they're hanging around. They're down 21-0. If they got something going to the clubhouse at halftime, I think they'd be in the ballgame. They're on the verge of being blown away in the first quarter. Out of the shotgun. Pressure's coming. Passes away. Dumps it off. Looking for blocking help. I don't get a lot for Alexis. He's going to get up to about the 26-yard line before he goes down in a hump, in a heap.
UCLA defense just gets after this so fast. Here's the play set up. They're out of position now. Watch everybody run to the football, and they deliver some terrific licks. Coker right there, 97, was shaken up on the play. He had to get off the field, but they run to the ball so well this year.
Coker, you saw him with that effort. He's 6'4", 306. Third down and 4 for Washington. He's got his man, but pursuit had chased him to the point where he simply could not deliver the ball to the target. Dave Ball was pounding after him. And he had a man open, but he couldn't get it to him.
Play before you saw Coker. You talked about his size and speed. Watch the right hand of the corner. You'll see Dave Ball coming, 43. Look at him run. He's 6'6", 280, and runs like a back. And almost got him. Pass was off, but you can bet your bottom dollar Barton could feel the earth shake behind him and knew he was going to get hit.
Derek McLaughlin is in to punt. Low. Somebody might have slapped that thing a little bit because it didn't go very far and it never got any altitude, and it rolls dead at the 36-yard line. 4 minutes exactly to play in the first half. 21-0 Bruins.
After the 270 horsepower Chevy Trailblazer, everything else just seems kind of weak. The all-new Chevy Trailblazer, like a rock.
Gordie Howe fractured his skull when he crashed headfirst into the boards. It was a life-threatening injury. Doctors told him to quit playing hockey. Gordie took their advice and he quit. 28 seasons and 7 MVPs later.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors, check it out.
It was a little intimidating at first, a sophomore working with so many PhDs. In the lab, I studied an infectious bacterium that is a major killer of people with HIV. I showed my data to Professor Cangelosi, and we realized I had made a new discovery.
Wow.
If this drug-resistant bacterium can be treated, people with HIV will have a better chance of surviving this infection. It's pretty overwhelming to think that I can have a part in helping millions of people.
The truth is out about Drew's 2 wives, and now he can't hide forever, or can he? An all-new Drew Carey Show, ABC Wednesday, 9/8 Central. See you then.
A key ball game in the Pac-10 Conference. 5 undefeated teams starting play in the conference on this 13th of October. But 4 of those 5 teams are playing each other, and that other undefeated team, Oregon, had a 21-0 first quarter lead over California. So UCLA out comfortably 21-0 and have the football first down at their own 36-yard line. Corey Paws wants to go deep. He's going for Tad Perry, and it's overthrown. Perry got kind of tangled up with Amari Lowe. Lowe rode him out a little bit and made him change his pattern a bit, and that was just enough to keep him away from the ball.
UCLA still going after it, throwing deep with a 21-0 lead, trying to utilize that field position and open things soft in the middle for Deshaun Foster, because he's their horse, he's their bread and butter. They don't want to get away from that, but at the same time, they've got to loosen the defense a little bit, and that's why they're going deep.
And who knows? They might come away with one. This time Washington gets some pressure and sacks the UCLA quarterback Josh Miller. The redshirt freshman from Covina, California, made the tackle for the Huskies.
Miller's 6'3", 280. Watch the right side of your line. You see this time they do get the advantage. They play a little game, and he spins off nicely and gets to Corey Paws, who waited a little bit too long. He's got to get back and he's got to release the ball. That's a coverage sack. Everybody was covered. He's got to either get outside the tackles and throw it away or come back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 15 now for UCLA. His penalty flag thrown. The ball is caught on the sidelines, but I think he's out of bounds when he had control. Craig Bragg ran it down.
I think this is going to be holding against UCLA. They ran that same kind of spin, and it looked like there was a tackle in the line of scrimmage.
Huskers will probably say no thank you and take the punt. With 3 minutes to go.
Right now, Rick Neuheisel doing a great job of keeping his kids in the ball game. More like a cheerleader right now. He's been pumping them up. He's been yelling out at the defense. He's coming back to the bench occasionally, and he's screaming at them. He's trying everything he can to keep these guys mentally in the ball game.
Charles Frederick drops back as Fixie will punt. It will be his fourth of the day. The last one was 65 yards. Another good one. Well, Frederick, a freshman, had to look to see whether there was daylight, and by then there wasn't any, and he's taken down at about the 30-yard line.
UCLA defense dominating this game first. It was Thomas in the middle who came through right off the hip with a pulling guard, but watch how they dominate. Now, while you're watching this, as Leslie makes the tackle there, let me tell you, Washington ran for 349 yards against UCLA last year. Today, 0 yards. The blue shirts are winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. The linebackers are filling. 3 plays and out. The goal for Phil Snow is 40%. Today, they're 44%. Defense is winning this ball game for the Bruins.
Shotgun for Huskies. Barton standing back. Time to throw. Gets his pass away, and it is incomplete. Ball was over Reggie Williams with Ricky Manning defending on the play. Williams turned around and was trying to wiggle around going backwards and couldn't get to the ball. He turned around and committed himself too soon.
Well, they had that early success with that matchup before, and Williams, as you mentioned, is 6'4", and Manning's only 5'9", so they've got a mismatch. They continue to go back to it, and a well-thrown ball, I think, still wins that mismatch. Ricky was beaten.
Second down and 10. Back under the center goes Barton. Got it to Hooks. Wilbur Hooks. And he'll put it on the UCLA side of the field at the 47-yard line. Kenyon Coleman was all over the Husky quarterback again. Coleman, Coker, Leslie, Ball, they have been fierce in the middle.
Deshaun Foster's shaken up a little bit going to the locker room. They'll tend to him during halftime. Looks like he's walking fine, though. Pretty good first half.
103 yards in the first half. That ain't bad.
Come on now.
2 touchdowns on first down from the 47 for the Huskies. Barton swings it out to the outside. Pass caught by Willie Hurst. And Willie will pick up a couple of yards.
Terrific play by Chiller.
Tomorrow, ABC Sports in Las Vegas. Final round action, PGA Tour. Davis Love, Fred Couples, Tom Lehman. I've been shooting 62, 63, 64s over it's a habit. They head the field at the Inverness Classic tomorrow, live at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Inverness Classic, Las Vegas. I wonder if the Santa Ana winds are blowing over there. The wind gets to blowing, it can make any of those golf courses tough. Second down. First up the middle. Willie stopped at about the 43-yard line.
You know, normally under Rick Neuheisel, Washington is so tough to defend against because if you go after the running game, you put 7 guys in the box, you move 8 or 9 up there, then you leave yourself vulnerable to the passing game. Then they have the option on the corners, but they haven't run the option. And the passing's been 3-step and quick throws, and then up the middle, nothing. They have 3 yards rushing the ball today.
Bob Toledo, talking yesterday, said it's been his experience, and he hit it right on the nose, that when a fella gets put into the ball game like Taylor Barton did last week, he can be very successful. He's going to run for the first down, and he won't make it. He stopped at about the 38-yard line. But when he has to start, and he has a whole week to think about it, it's a different thing, and it's been a different thing today. Coming up, Capital One halftime show. John Saunders, Terry Bowden, scores and highlights on college football today from about the country. You got a timeout called. It's Washington, and the Huskies will have 2 remaining with 27 ticks remaining on the clock as we look down on the Rose Bowl from the Goodyear Blimp Eagles. Bob Toledo is normally a happy-go-lucky, jolly kind of guy, and but he's kind of pulled himself in a little bit with this football team. he says this is the fruition year for this recruiting class that we brought in. We thought it was going to be a good one, and now we're ready to do some harvesting. And he believes, he won't admit it, but I've known him too long to know, he believes this is the football team that he has really been looking for all along. And it's one that can go a long way, he thinks.
I'm kind of building for this year, to be perfectly honest with you. This was our first full-year recruiting class. And if you look at Deshaun and Thomas and those guys, that was the #1 recruiting class in the country. And you never know how good they are when you recruit them. It takes a couple, 3 years. And I think a lot of people are finding out that they were a pretty good recruiting class. They make us good coaches. And it could be as good as it wants to be.
That was the #1 recruiting class in the country. The one that followed that, the ones that are juniors now, that was the #3 recruiting class in the country. Bob Toledo has won 65% of his games at UCLA during his 5 years and is only the second Bruin coach to win 10 games in 2 consecutive years.
And you know, of course, the Huskies are going on 4th down and 3. With 27 seconds to play, Barton pumps it, puts it in the air. He's got a man deep. It is touchdown, Todd Elstrom. And what did I say a little while ago? The Huskies are hanging around.
They strike quickly, don't they? Again, they were working on Manning. Elstrom outran him, and it looked like Stevens, the safety, had a pretty good look at the ball. It looked like he was going to come over for the interception, and he couldn't get there. Again, it's the pump fake. Watch this. Boom. Freeze Manning. Now try to throw over him and see if the safety, #4, Stevens, can get there in time. Here comes Elstrom. The ball has air under it. There he is. The safety's late. #4, Stevens. Touchdown.
The try for the point from John Anderson. Cody Pickett's holding. And he missed it. It hit the upright. Was it Cody or was it Casey Paws? That's Cody.
Well, the hold looks fine. He just hooked it.
Okay.
9 times out of 10 it hits the upright like that, it's going to sneak in. That one didn't. But the hold looked fine.
I couldn't imagine that we'd see Paws in there at that point in the ball game, but you never know with a separated shoulder. If a guy can't get his arm up, he can't hold it, can he? Can't catch it and hold it. One of the world's most enduring symbols, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, providing our aerial pictures today. The Goodyear Blimp traveling over 100,000 miles every year, covering major events. Not just sports, but major events. So it's a 21-6, and even though they missed the extra point, it's still a lift as they go to the clubhouse.
That can work both ways. It'll lift Washington, and I think it'll infuriate the coaches for UCLA and give them something to harp on during the intermission.
Anderson's kick. What is it? Is there a magnet over there or what?
I don't know. That's the 3rd one today, and you hate to give it to him on a 35.
Yeah. Bixie's jerked it out twice over there, and now Anderson.
Keep in mind now, Deshaun Foster is in the locker room.
And we don't know why. Unless it was just send him in to get the extra rest, because it is hot. And he might be looking to get some more fluids.
Well, they're not going to run anymore. This will be a clock play. And I think that's what Bob Toledo was doing, just sending him in to get that extra rest and fluids.
So that snap will end the first half of play. And now let's join Todd Harris.
Well, Keith, you and Tim are exactly right. Deshaun Foster went in primarily just to get fluids. They still want to give him a little treatment, but he will be back and ready for the second half.
So we played a half at the Rose Bowl for the UCLA Bruins, jumping out 21-0. As we go to halftime, it is 21-6. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
This is Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
I am very proud of my lawn.
We enjoy it as much as he does.
Our neighbors usually ask me what I use, and I tell them. I use Scott's Winterizer.
He really cares.
When you apply it in the fall, the food actually enters the root system. It stores it over the winter, and then in the spring, it perks that grass right up. It explodes, basically. Obviously, it's a critical step.
He's tried other products, too.
They just didn't work out. Scott's Winterizer gives me the last green lawn in the fall and the first green lawn in the spring.
All vacations are canceled until the network integration is complete? All but his, I bet. What is it this time? Jumbles of hardware? Databases built on 10 different platforms in 20 different countries? Does he think that's news to me? Serve it up. Send it my way. Bring it on, buddy, because I'll get it done. And that happy vacationer, the one waving from the beach as your yacht passes by, that man is gonna be me.
You can accomplish anything, even seamless integration. Fujitsu, the possibilities are infinite.
Ford drives America. And right now, Ford's making it easier for America to drive best-selling Ford trucks. Introducing 0% financing on all 2001 and 2002 trucks, including Ford F-150, Ranger, Super Crew, even Super Duty. Nothing beats 0%, and nothing beats the money you'll save on America's toughest trucks. Visit your Atlanta area Ford store today for this limited time offer.
Prepare for the storm with the Channel 2 Action News Severe Weather Team.
The Capital One Halftime Show, presented by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet? From Times Square Stadium in New York, John Saunders and Terry Bowden.
Well, it's starting to darken a little bit here as Times Square Stadium reaches night, and some of the activities that you will see just outside of our studios here. It's never a dull moment out here. John Saunders alongside Terry Bowden. 21-6 is the lead. UCLA's defense dominated, but boy, giving up that big play at the end of the half hurts.
Well, they've been dominant all year, and they've been dominant the first half, but they should have been able to prevent. Gave up a touchdown pass with 20 seconds left, or they would have been holding them to nothing. Washington was supposed to play better defense, keep this game close until the fourth quarter. They had not been rushed for a touchdown against all season. They gave up 2 to Deshaun Foster the first half.
All right, the marquee game of the day, Florida State against Miami. And Chief Osceola probably wouldn't have thrown this one in the turf quite as hard had he known things were going to happen this way. Might have disrupted Chris Ricks. Andre Williams causes the fumble. Chris Campbell recovers the ball, and that was the story of the day. The big hit on the next play, Ken Dorsey, 27 yards to Andre Johnson. And again, the story, Florida State mistakes, Miami capitalizing.
That's right. Every time Florida State made a mistake, the first 21, in fact, Miami came back and made a score. It was a total breakdown, kicking on offense, on defense. Florida State still finding ways to shoot themselves in the foot.
Jonathan Vilma picks up that fumble and goes in for the touchdown. Then Miami with a field goal attempt. It's the old Charlie Brown. Pull the ball away, and that's a holder. Freddie Capshaw turns nothing into something for the touchdown, and that's the way it went for your dad the entire afternoon. 43 points is what Miami was averaging over their first 4 games. They put 49 on the board against Miami.
And 21 of those were scored not by the offense, but other parts of the game. It would have been much closer.
All right, Miami breaks up that unbeaten record. And Chris Ricks, what can you say about the youngsters? Just too many mistakes.
Well, yeah, all that pressure put on, Florida State was trying to keep the pressure off of Chris Ricks, not let him get sacked. He got sacked 7 times.
Can your father turn this thing around? Granted, they could still win the ACC and be in the BCS, but right now, this is a young team that doesn't look very good.
John, when I looked at my father on the sideline, I haven't seen him that mad since I tried to sneak out with the family car, ran it through the garage door. He's mad. He doesn't know what to do. I mean, they're messing up on punt team, they're messing up on defense, they're messing up on offense. They're trying to get Chris Ricks ready to win football games, but they're so far behind, they can't get it done. He's mad, and I imagine there's going to be some stiff discussions come this weekend.
For Miami, anybody who was a naysayer about that team, they certainly showed today they're as good as 1 or 2, depending on which poll you look at. Oregon still unbeaten in the Pac-10 against a team looking to win for the first time in the season. Joey Harrington, a great start of the day, but Cal's defense is just horrendous.
Yeah, Oregon has not looked championship-like all year, but Joey Harrington is having a good first half against the nation's worst pass defense.
Darren Dietrich has just scored a touchdown for Nebraska. This game against Baylor was tight going into the fourth quarter, but Nebraska puts a couple of quick ones on top. Eric Crouch is a touchdown, 35-7.
They get bored every now and then, but they're going to be undefeated going into October 27th against Oklahoma.
See Crouch, not much passing, but the 3 TDs on the ground. Texas A&M unbeaten. They're tied with Colorado 14-14. Colorado, a team you talked about at the start of the season that would make a lot of noise in the Big 12. You were right.
Well, they beat Kansas State last week. If they can beat Texas A&M, I think they can get back and run for the elite of the conference. Texas A&M also has not beat anybody yet. They want to win this game and also get into the elite of the Big 12.
Well, they beat Notre Dame, but the way Notre Dame was playing this afternoon, they're not much. Arkansas against South Carolina. Lou Holtz making the return, and he said all week long, my team's not very good.
Well, it's getting harder for him to keep a straight face while he's poor-mouthing his team because they're so good. But Arkansas, Houston Nutt has not lost. Again, 10 straight victories in Little Rock.
All right, 3-0 is the lead there. Wisconsin and Ohio State. The Buckeyes out onto the field, and that's pretty much what they would do all day long is run the football. But Steve Bellisari goes 29 yards to Chris Vance. This one sets up a touchdown as he just steps out of bounds. Lydell Ross, 3 yards on the carry. And again, Wisconsin gave up over 400 yards in the ground to Indiana last week, and today having a difficult time stopping the run again.
Well, you've got to have pride there. They've got to change it. They're not the same football team they were, but it's Ohio State. They found their running attack. Jonathan Wells, Lydell Ross take all the pressure off of Steve Bellisari. He no longer has to win the game by himself. Just run the offense.
Yeah, Bellisari has also a touchdown on the ground. Let's take a look at the Big Ten standings. Michigan and Purdue, we'll have those highlights a little bit later on, but Michigan did win the game to go to 3-0. So as it seems to happen just about every time this year, you look and see Michigan and Ohio State heading towards the great matchup in the final game of the season.
Well, John, the reason is they're playing defense. Purdue, Northwestern, they find ways to win close games, but you got to play great defense. And Michigan, Ohio State, they're back to their old tricks.
He tells the story as well. Northwestern, their loss to Ohio State. Purdue, their loss today to Michigan. BYU, most explosive offense in the country, facing New Mexico. And Brandon Doman, the quarterback, goes 28 yards to Rod Wilkerson. This one, though, just ties the game. Rather, would wind up being a 10-7 lead at that point for BYU. And New Mexico has come back now and tied the game at 10 apiece. Luke Staley is not playing in the game. Coach's decision, they're looking into the possibility he may not be eligible.
Well, that's right. And also, Brandon Doman does not have a good first half also, possibly because Luke Staley's not there, can't run the ball. They are based on a very balanced offense with 500 yards of offense per game. They average about as much rushing as they do passing. They need Luke Staley.
All right, West Virginia and the Fighting Irish in Notre Dame. I talked about A&M, one of their wins over the Irish. They have just scored to tie this game at 24 apiece. They were in control of it throughout the first half, but never pulled away from West Virginia. And a not very good West Virginia team has a chance to pull off a win in Irish country.
Well, West Virginia's had a hard time struggling against anybody, and now it shows some weakness for Notre Dame. They have a tough time offensively throughout the season. Now they get their offense together, but the defenses are having a hard time stopping anybody.
UCLA and Washington. Washington very fortunate to only be down 21-6. There was a fumble by Deshaun Foster as he was going in for another touchdown. Would have made it 28-0. If right now you were Rick Neuheisel, what are you telling your squad you have to do to turn things around in the second half?
Well, what you got to do is keep on playing now because they're only down, what, 13, 14 points in this football game, 21-6. Stay close. Let's get close. Remember, every time we get a close game in the fourth quarter, we win.
All right, 21-6 is the lead right now. The second half still to come. UCLA trying to remain unbeaten. Washington looking to do the same. Stick around.
I'll get this. Oh, a platinum card. There's always a catch. Low rates that explode. Hidden fees. It's highway robbery.
Actually, I have a Capital One Platinum card.
Get a new Capital One Platinum card with a 9.9% fixed rate that starts low and stays low, plus no balance transfer fees.
What's in your wallet?
I'd been waiting for a day like this.
A day when an all-in-one wireless plan would make things simple for people. The Sprint PCS Total Digital Connections plan is here. It brings all the best features together: clear calls, nationwide long distance, voice command, and wireless web. Thanks, boy. And now it's my job to tell the world.
Total Digital Connections plan, only from Sprint PCS.
From here in Times Square and Times Square Stadium, it's the Capital One halftime show. John Saunders alongside Terry Bowden. At the start of the day, there were 3 unbeaten teams in the Big Ten: Ohio State, Purdue, and Michigan. Purdue had to play at Michigan, a place they hadn't won since 1966. Bob Greasy was calling the signals back there. Joe Teller in this time says perhaps this quarterback, Brandon Hance, can pull it out. 12 yards here to Tim Stratton. Purdue opens up a 7-0 lead, but it was too much. Marquise Walker after that. There's 42 yards in the punt return.
First time all year he's returned punts, 7 for 133 yards. But it's Michigan defense. It's been dominant all year. Sacked Brandon Hance 7 times.
All right, that one set up a touchdown for Michigan. Then John Navarre finds Walker as well. 43 yards on this touchdown bomb. 14-7 was the lead. The oldest living male cheerleader does a flip. At that age, you can still do a flip. 24-10 is the final right now. Michigan now 3-0 in the conference.
Well, it's John Navarre who's throwing him the ball, and he's not making mistakes, giving them a chance to win football games.
Texas trying to bounce back from their loss against Oklahoma, facing Oklahoma State. Chris Sims, boy, was he on today. 27 yards to Brock Edwards, 17-10 the lead at that point. Then Sims again, 16 yards to Roy Williams. Chris Sims with 5 touchdown passes. That's a school record coming off a week where he had 4 interceptions.
Well, they had no big plays out of quarterback or wide receiver last week against Oklahoma. But to get big plays, you got to have big play calling. Give them a chance to have a big play.
Cedric Benson, 31 carries for 131 yards as well. Clemson against NC State. Woody Dantzler, he was the story of the day, 55 yards in this rush.
Well, it's a Heisman-like performance. He'll have a lot of video clips today. But again, this defense is too suspect. The pass defense at Clemson is too suspect to pick them right now as any kind of favorite in the conference.
Yeah, well, Dantzler, though, had plenty of offense to carry them. Tie game at that point, and then Dantzler to Travis Zachary, 28-17. Woody Dantzler, 333 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, 23 carries for 184 yards, and he's the first player in ACC history to rush for 2,000 yards and pass for 4,000.
John, I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback that is much a pure runner and a pure passer as Woody Dantzler.
Single-handedly pretty much won that game. Minnesota Northwestern, Zach Kustok calling the signals, as he did in that miracle from a year ago. Damian Anderson, 4 yards of the touchdown run, 7-0 Northwestern with the lead. Then Zach Kustok again, 29 yards to Sam Simmons. Northwestern with a 13-3 lead. Kustok would finish 22 of 32, 237 yards, and the touchdown was picked off once. Damian Anderson, 22 carries, just 86 yards, but he breaks the school record for rushing touchdowns in a career at 36 as Northwestern gets the victory against Minnesota. This is the Capital One halftime show. Back with more in a moment.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
Okay. Took care of the spark plugs, flushed the coolant. The brakes were shot, so I went ahead and took care of those. Greased and lubed it, cleaned out the injectors, replaced the air filter, the fuel filter, rotated the tires, and changed the oil.
Thanks, honey.
More ASC certified master technicians, the top mechanics in the country, use Valvoline motor oil in their own cars over any other oil.
Did you take out the garbage?
Sure did. Separated bottles from cans. One of the bags was leaking, so I double bagged that. And the roof's gonna need some work. I can get to that next week.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
The Capital One halftime show, presented by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet?
Set in the dynamic, diverse city of Los Angeles, UCLA is where dreams are realized, ideas are born, and obstacles are overcome. Every day, our faculty and students raise the bar for research and results. Every day, our community extends beyond campus. Every day, the competition feels the heat of Bruin athletics. A sun-drenched campus buzzing with an energy all its own. UCLA. Experience excellence every day.
ABC Sports is proud to present the skating event of the year. 4 decades of America's champions come together to pay tribute to the 1961 U.S. World Figure Skating team. Hi, I'm Peggy Fleming. Please join us for this ABC Sports special event Sunday at 2 Eastern, 3 Pacific.
Next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time, regional coverage. Some of you will be in the Pac-10, Stanford traveling to Eugene to face Oregon. Others will be in the ACC. NC State facing Georgia Tech. And some will look as this man, Joe Paterno, looks to tie the bear once again, Penn State Northwestern. Others will see a Big 12 matchup. Check local listings for the game in your area. This afternoon, Michigan State quarterback Jeff Smoker hooking up with Herb Haygood against Iowa. Haygood, 9 receptions, 119 yards. Second straight week, he had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Ole Miss and Eli Manning on the phone, dialing up a victory he hopes against Alabama. 3 yards to Joe Gunn for the touchdown to pull out the victory. By the way, Eli's brother, Peyton Manning, lost his first game against Alabama. His dad, Archie Manning, won his first game against Alabama.
Well, behind Rex Grossman of Florida, he is clearly the next best quarterback in the entire SEC.
All right, that's the story of the day. Right now, let's take it back out to your second half.
After a cold drink of water, and here's some of the highlights out of that first half.
No secret what UCLA wanted to do out of the blocks. That was run to Sean Foster. They did it successfully. Boy, he breaks a lot of tackles, and he scored twice. 15 carries, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But look at this. Going in for the 3rd touchdown, he fumbles. They get it back. And Washington made it pay right late in that first half. Taylor Barton to Elstrom, 39-yard touchdown reception on 4th and 3. Barton, 9 of 18 in that first half.
To the field, Todd Harris.
Thank you, Keith. I talked to Coach Rick Neuheisel as he came back on the field, and he told me he talked to his kids and said, UCLA had the chance to deliver a knockout punch, and they didn't do it. We need to make them pay for it. He said, we'll see what we can do in the 4th quarter, a little more Husky magic, maybe one more time. As far as Deshaun Foster goes, I talked to the trainer. He said all he needed was a little extra hydration and a cold towel on his head. He should be 100% in the second half. Keith.
Well, if he has a half like he had in the first quarter, forget it.
Well, they better hold on to the football, though. Aramea Stansberry, he put one on the floor, gave it to Washington, then Foster did. And that's keeping the Huskies in it.
And the Huskies get the ball to start the second half. Fixie kicks off, and it'll go beyond the field of play, and it'll be a Washington ball out at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Well, Timothy Ladd, what surprises you?
Well, I think that the power of UCLA overpowering Washington the way they did and dominate like they did in the first quarter, that surprised me. I wasn't surprised they put it on the ground. We saw plenty of that against Ohio State. I'm surprised that Washington has not given them a better game here in the second half. Once they got those 2 fumbles, they didn't make them capitalize. And the defense for UCLA has been very, very strong.
Well, you never know. Maybe Moe's changed colors of shirt. You see the Huskies have the score going into the clubhouse. They start at the 20-yard line. Barton comes out quickly to Arnold. Arnold will pick up about 7 yards on the play. And here are the numbers out of the first half.
Well, everybody talked about time of possession. If you look at these statistics, of course, you'd say, well, UCLA's dominating, but they aren't really. I mean, this is a situation where they've run the ball very well and they gain yards, but when they turned it over, time of possession then went to Washington, and Washington, when it has time of possession, usually wins.
Well, they were utterly dominant in the first quarter and then just went flat. And we'll see. Remember now, they have outscored the opposition 44-0 in the 3rd quarter so far this season. Barton turns, hands the ball off, and the Washington running game is virtually nil today. That's Alexis being stopped at just about the line of scrimmage.
There aren't many better linebackers in the country than Robert Thomas. He was coming that way, shot the gap, made a terrific play on the opposite side of the field. Bob Toledo calls him a cobra. He coils and he strikes quickly, just like a snake. So quick.
But he had something like 9 tackles, I think, in the first half. He was all over the place. Could have had 2 interceptions. Dropped the ball both times.
So why is he so successful? Alignment, reads keys, no false steps, and gets to the ball in a hurry.
3rd and 2 for the Huskies. Crowd coming up trying to help the Bruins. Whistle.
Delay of game. See, now that's not a very smart penalty to take down here, if that's what it is. Looked like he got it off right at the 1 second mark. That flag flew quickly. Delay a game.
Delay a game, yep.
That is not a smart penalty down here when you have 3rd and short.
Microphone's broken now. Jay Strickert, the referee's microphone, has surrendered for the day.
Offsetting penalties.
Unsportsmanlike against UCLA, is that what they called?
Yep.
So that's offset.
Penalties, yeah. That might be conversation, Tim, because I've seen a couple of them. I know that Williams and Manning were into it pretty good a while ago.
But you know what? If there couldn't have been one against UCLA because they already marked it off. Now it's 3rd and long. So it's delay of game against Washington in play.
That's it. 3rd and 7. That's a long 7. Martin's pass is not well thrown. Intended receiver, the tight end Joe Collier, as he turned to go to the sidelines, lost his footing and slid down, but the ball was not catchable for Collier. And so the Huskies are going to have to punt it away.
Tell you, see, Joe Collier is one of their outstanding blocking tight ends, but as a receiver, they give that up to Jeremy Stevens. So when Stevens can't play today and Collier comes in, that's what they lose.
They're not going to have Stevens until probably the end of the season, near the end of the season. Broken foot. McLaughlin in for his 6th punt of the day. Done pretty well, had one blocked. And this one's going to roll on down inside the, going to drop dead at about the 35-yard line. Now here's the Morgan Stanley well-connected storyline.
Well, Washington offensively averages 30 points a game. They only got 6 there in the first half, and UCLA defense allowing just 11.8 points a game. So you can see the storyline developing. We've been talking about the defense and what they did here in the first half, and it's pretty much up to what they've done this entire season.
Marcus Anderson is down on the field. Timeout taken for him, injured on the previous play.
Looks like a cramp.
He's sitting up, and now he's laid back down, and it may well be a cramp. This is that kind of a day. He was coming in hard and almost blocked that punt, and one of the Huskies landed on him, and then Marcus went back down.
Marcus Anderson, a quality player, strongest guy pound for pound on the team. We showed you his numbers earlier.
ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Pontiac. What would you do with some Pontiac excitement? Pacific Life annuities, insurance, investments. Discover the power of Pacific Life. Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular. And Tostitos Scoops, the dip lover's chip. He's up, walking tenderly.
They were talking about the temperature here in Pasadena, just the air temperature being in the mid-90s at game time. And this, as you mentioned a couple times, being a box canyon, it just seems to be like a magnifying glass down on the field. It goes up well over 100.
Marcus Anderson's having trouble getting locomotion.
Boy, those cramps, if that's what it is, are so painful. And then when you try to walk on them, they cramp back up again. I'm not sure what it is.
The Husky fell on him when he went down, and he's going to have some help to get off the field. Let's spend a moment with John Saunders at Times Square Stadium.
Keith, in the Burger King update, Wisconsin fighting back against Ohio State. Brooks Bollinger, as you can see inside the first 3 minutes of the second half. Nick Davis, 42 yards on the touchdown. Ohio State running the ball very well, had controlled the first half, but Wisconsin trails now by just a field goal. Keith.
That happening last week at Madison. was absolutely one of the most startling things of the whole football season. With Indiana coming into Wisconsin and scored 62 points.
I agree with you. I mean, we saw Wisconsin early, and to score 63 against that defense just blew me away.
Oh. All right, here come the Bruins from the 35-yard line. Uh-oh. Deshaun Foster is running for the corner. Omari Lowe's after him. Foster is shoved out of bounds just short of the goal line. My goodness. Omari Lowe, who has had a star-struck season, makes one more great play for Washington as he runs down Deshaun Foster. 64 yards on the carry.
Wondered about his health. Watch this. Great blocks. They open it up. This is his favorite play. Delay, let him have some patience in there, find the hole, and once he's in the secondary, it's hard to bring him down. Here comes the foot race. Lowe's got the angle, the pursuit angle. Deshaun sees him and thinks maybe he can overpower him if he gets close to him. I'm surprised he didn't score on that, but a great play by Omari Lowe. There's the stiff arm, and Omari Lowe just grabbing cloth and hanging on and trying to get him out of bounds.
Well, let's see if he's got enough wind left to get his touchdown. Dropped it. Bad handoff. Turned it over.
Flag down.
You got a penalty flag along the line of scrimmage. Owen Biddle covered the ball for the Huskies. It was not a good handoff.
If there's a weakness on this UCLA team, that's exactly what it is. They're sloppy with the football. Take another look. It looks like the snap, but then Corey Draws had the hold of the ball and just let it go out of his hands.
Yeah, dropped it.
Wasn't a snap at all. It was Corey. Well, that's going to give the ball back to UCLA.
What did they call?
Too many men on the field.
Too many men on the field?
It's a good way to stop them.
Oh, my goodness. 12 men on the field.
They still have 12. Here comes a guy off.
So that moves the ball right down to the goal line, and UCLA keeps it because of the 12th man penalty. The handoff didn't work as Corey dropped the ball. Now he turns around, gives it back to Deshaun, and Deshaun cracks in there at the goal line.
Touchdown.
Touchdown for UCLA.
And you know what's amazing about that team? All those guys around him, and he went in standing up.
He's hard to get down. So the Bruins come out of the blocks in the second half of play. They've now scored, if they make this conversion, 51 points to none for the opposition in the third quarter this season. Chris Griffith knocks it up and in. And it's 28-6 UCLA at 13:04 to go in the third quarter, with Deshaun Foster going 64 yards, and then they get a break on a Washington penalty, and he punches it in.
If I passed you the keys to a Pontiac, gave you a week, what would you do? Where would you go?
I want to go to Vegas.
Vegas?
Vegas, baby.
Skydiving naked.
Rock climbing. Go all the way down to Florida.
Head out to San Francisco.
Up north.
Down south.
Golden Gate. Golden Gate.
Hit the road. Yeah.
Mud wrestling.
Just you and the road. So what would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac?
Feels good.
There's no keys.
I want those keys.
Where are the keys? Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Give me the keys. Come on.
Someone's gonna get them. So what would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac for a week?
I gotta get some lunch. So that's number one.
Definitely skydiving.
The spa tour of the Southwest.
Vegas. Hey, hit the road, guys.
You got him! Oh! All right, let's go.
They're yours.
I'm kidding.
You got it!
Serious?
Go! So what would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac?
I swear to God, to hand us the keys.
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Rivals collide. Emmitt Smith is climbing the record books. Washington aims to shut him down. Skins, Cowboys, Monday Night Football, 9, 6 Pacific on ABC.
Deshaun Foster sitting in the spray and catching his breath after that 64-yard run and then lucking out on the penalty call and getting a second try for the touchdown. People talk about Heisman, Heisman, Heisman. I'm not one to do it. I never have been. But I'll tell you right now, if there's a better candidate for the Heisman Trophy than this guy, I haven't seen it. And I admit the Western bias. Here's the kickoff. Beyond the field of play. And it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
Let me jump on that bandwagon. I've been saying since the beginning of the year, Deshaun Foster is the best running back in the country. And I certainly think he should be considered. And not only that, but you're right about the bias. He doesn't get as much exposure in the East where a lot of the voters are. And, you know, this conference doesn't. I was listening to a telecast last weekend where they said the Pac-10 is not nearly the best conference, but it's very evenly played between the teams. And I started thinking they had 3 guys in the top 10, 3 teams.
Who's that? Who's that?
Kevin Brandt coming in for Marcus Anderson, who's hurt. That's my young Kevin.
Marcus Anderson shaken up. We have not had a report from him as yet. Here's Taylor Barton now from the 20-yard line. And Alexis comes out, goes into receiver position. Oh, Arnold drops the ball at about the 26-yard line. Todd Harris, the story on Marcus Anderson, please.
Well, as you and Timmy thought, it was cramps. It wasn't just in one leg, though. It was in both legs, which made it extremely hard for him to even walk off the field. They've taken him in the locker room. They said they're going to hydrate him as much as possible. They do expect him back, but in the meantime, it's that pesky number 32, Kevin Brandt, taking his spot.
Incidentally, congratulations, Todd. You're stronger than I thought you were.
That was some trip, huh?
Only 31 hours to get here yesterday.
Back from Africa.
I still think you're crazy. Back goes Barton to throw. He has a man, and he can't get it to him. Reggie Williams was out there in the open, and Barton couldn't get the ball to him. You got a penalty flag on the field and probably holding coming against the Huskies. It's thrown right at that point where the quarterback gets acquainted with defensive folk, and the offensive folks are trying to take care of him, and that's when holding occurs, and that's what happened here.
Washington hurting itself today. Saw the delay of game penalty, too many men on the field penalty, and now this.
UCLA declines it. Instead of giving them the extra down, they'll go with 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10, a definite passing down, so they'll probably come with a blitz. And they've shown a lot of confidence in their corners playing one-on-one man, but Washington's gotten them a couple times on that.
They got him. Marcus Reese, who's having a big ball game for UCLA. Linebacker.
They only brought one linebacker. They dropped off Thomas, but they're getting so much push off their front down 4. Here comes the pressure right here. And Reese got him. Meanwhile, Thomas had dropped back into coverage, and they were in a soft zone.
McLaughlin standing in his end zone, should hit it about the 4-yard line, and does. The kick is away. Waiting for it is Craig Bragg. And they'll run him down at about the 43-yard line. So here's UCLA camping on the Washington side of the field again. 36-yard punt, 7-yard return. 28-6. Bruins lead the Huskies.
If I passed you the keys to a Pontiac, gave you a week, what would you do? Where would you go?
I want to go to Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Skydiving naked.
Rock climbing. Go all the way down to Florida.
Head out to San Francisco.
Up north.
Down south.
Golden Gate. Golden Gate.
Those roads. Yeah.
Mud wrestling.
Just you and the road. So what would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac?
Feels good.
There's no keys.
I want those keys.
Where are the keys?
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Give me the keys. Come on.
Someone's gonna get them.
is like a natural food product. The fresher it is, the better it tastes. That's why Budweiser has 12 local breweries right here in the United States. So you know our beer will always be fresh.
This Bud's for you. And you. This Bud's for you.
So what would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac for a week?
I gotta get some lunch. That's number one.
Definitely skydiving.
The spa tour of the Southwest.
Vegas. Hey, hit the road, guys.
You got him! Oh! All right, let's go.
They're yours.
I'm kidding. Right.
You got it!
Serious?
Go!
So what would you do if someone passed you the keys to a Pontiac?
I swear to God, to hand us the keys.
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Well, if the Huskies are to have any hope, I think they've got to do something right here, which means they've got to stop UCLA. Bruins will take the football first down on the Washington 43-yard line, leading 28-6.
No reason to get away from Foster. Let him just keep pounding, try to eat up some of the clock, although with big bursts like the one he had in the last series, it won't eat up much clock.
Got it. Hit once, twice, 3 times, rolls ahead, and picks up 4. Joseph Esaev, the left guard, number 64. A young fellow who's Russian heritage out of Porterville, California, 298 pounds. He's getting the hang of the game, and he's getting better and better and better. He is stout, I'll tell you. A load at that left guard. Here comes the pressure. Passes away. Pass thrown to Paulie Dixon. Paulie Dixon running down to the 23-yard line. First down, UCLA.
Keith, the offensive line, you were talking about the receivers, the fullbacks, the tight ends. Everybody on this UCLA offense has become so much more physical than the last few seasons. Then they throw in the wrinkles of Bob Toledo. They send Foster this way, and they're going to throw back to Paulie Dixon underneath. Now watch this. Start the play. There goes Foster. Everybody's looking his way. You come back, you throw the flanker screen underneath, you pick up some blockers, and you've got the big gain. Very, very physical team. Thanks to Mike Lynn, the strength coach. Great play calling by Bob Toledo and Kelly Skipper. And right now, UCLA's got everything going for it.
Shane Lehman is out of the ball game. Steve Vieira replaces him on the right side of the offensive line. Pause turns, gives it to Foster, working in traffic. And he didn't get much this time, because big Zach Tuiasosopo grabbed a hold of him and wrestled him down.
And Amari Lowe gets up shaking his head. He was in the backfield. He had a look at Deshaun Foster and came up grabbing air. And you talk about a Houdini move. That was it right there. He disappeared, and Amari Lowe was sitting there wondering where he went.
Put it on the 22. It's not quite there, but it's the next marker. It'll be second down and 10. Fullback, Jeremiah Stansberry. Ball is right about the 20-yard line now with 9:59 to play in the third quarter. Third and 8. Drags a man in motion. Pause, may go to it. No, it goes underneath to Perry. And Perry trying, juggling the ball the whole trip. But when he got to the ground, he wrapped it up and held on.
Well, they've got everything going now. They're still a little bit loose with the football, a little bit sloppy at protecting it. Perry did bobble it, but they get the first. This is a very good play by Paws because he waits for the clearance. See, he comes under the linebackers. Paws is waiting for him to get there. And then probably had a heart attack when he saw Tap Perry bobble it, but they still move the chains. That's what Corey Paws says he wants to get better at, the underneath throws, the little short throws. what he calls the easy throws. He's making the tough ones.
It's 1st and goal on the 8-yard line. Foster. Got a yard. Larry Triplett greeted him that time. Larry's hard to move around.
Boy, you know what Larry Triplett believes, that if you can't get sacks, you can still get disruptions, tips, takeaways, get in the throwing lanes, you know, and make Corey Paws uneasy. He knows he's going to be double and triple teamed. UCLA said that all week in the papers. He gets it every week anyway, and Triplett just tries to do everything else he can, even though he's not getting the sacks.
2nd and goal. Foster to the goal line. He didn't get there. He's about a yard short. Moment with John Saunders.
Well, Keith, Wisconsin against Ohio State. The Buckeyes jumped in front of this one early, but Brooks Bollinger has Wisconsin marching. 30 yards to Lee Evans, gets it down to the 14-yard line. 3 plays later, they kick the game-tying field goal. That's where it stands now. It's 17 apiece, Ohio State with the ball.
Badgers playing for dignity in that one, aren't they?
Keith, if you're playing defense, who are you looking for right now?
Oh, you kidding me?
Here comes Foster.
They got him, too.
Sure they did. Good play, good surge.
Defensive right side put 3 people in there, and they went and got him. Josh Miller and Jerome Stevens.
Yeah, if you're one of those white jerseys, you want to establish a new line of scrimmage a yard deep in the UCLA backfield. They do. The linebackers fill. Perfectly done goal line defense. Foster never had a chance. There was absolutely no hole.
It is 4th down and goal. The ball is right about the 4-yard line.
Well, if this game was close, they'd be kicking a field goal here. But instead, they might try to get Deshaun on the corner.
They're trying to break their back right here.
This could give some new life to Washington if they stop him.
Oh, you bet. Pause. Play action. Got him. All the way back at the 15-yard line. Number 55, and I'm not even going to try this name. Just Tui. That's it. Ala Leifuula.
Good job.
So Washington dodges that one right now in the 4th down situation, but UCLA still very much in command of this game in the Pac-10. We will keep you up to date on what's going on in the game, but we want to take you out to a tie game. Bonus coverage in the Big Ten between Wisconsin and Ohio State when we return. Stick around.
How can you provide for the future of the people who depend on you? With the power of Pacific Life. For over 130 years, Pacific Life has improved the lives of millions with investments, annuities, and insurance. Because careful planning today can help them reach their dreams tomorrow. Discover the power of Pacific Life.
Play Cash is King at Burger King for your chance to become a millionaire.
First class, baby. Hey, how much for that dog? What's up, dog? Who wants to marry a millionaire? This is not what I had planned.
Play Cash is King at Burger King. Peel for a chance at great prizes. From hot, tasty food like a Whopper or croissant sandwich to a cool $1,000,000. With a 1 in 3 chance to win, the odds are on your side.
Pardon me, would you happen to have some extra ketchup?
In just a moment, bonus coverage coming up from the Big Ten. Wisconsin fell down early, but have come out storming in the second half, tied with Ohio State at 17 apiece in the 4th quarter. About 14 minutes left to play. Bonus coverage after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
For his first attempt, a 360 tomahawk.
Introducing new Tostitos scoops.
Amazing. And now the alley-oop reverse.
With the bite-sized bowl-shaped design.
Oh, my. And what everyone's been waiting for, the two-handed thunder.
For the perfect dip every time.
Oh, the judges have to be impressed.
New Tostitos Scoops. The dip lover's chip. Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
I'd been waiting for a day like this. A day when an all-in-one wireless plan would make things simple for people. The Sprint PCS Total Digital Connections plan is here. It brings all the best features together. Clear calls, nationwide long distance, voice command, and wireless web. Thanks, boy. And now it's my job to tell the world.
Total Digital Connections plan, only from Sprint PCS.
I want you to know how much I care about all of you. Be kind to each other and show your love for each other. Helping others will make you feel better too.
Final round coverage of the Inventus Classic, Sunday on ABC.
Too much. Tuesday, Spin City moves to 9/8 Central with Too Much Macho.
On the outside, you have this macho shell, and on the inside, you have this
Creamy fruit filling. Then Bob Patterson reveals too much.
Don't span a rod and spoil this child.
Bob Patterson, after Spin City at its new time, 9/8 Central, ABC Tuesday.
Game of the day in the Big Ten. And Belisari snaps off the completion for a first down. And that is Michael Jenkins, the sophomore from Tampa, Florida. We are deadlocked at 17. The storyline here from the Horseshoe is the fact that the Buckeyes ran off to a 17-0 lead in the first half. But after a bad snap on a punt, it's been all Wisconsin. They tied the game at 17. We have 9:36 to go in the game. Belisari struggling, passing 50%, 102 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. He has run for a touchdown with a first down at the 35-yard line. Here's Wells to the middle, and Bryson there making his 13th stop of the game.
You saw Steve Belisari's rushing average. Ohio State has given up 4 sacks in this football game. They don't throw the ball a lot, but when they have tried to today, anytime they've used play-action passes, he's gotten pressure. They've done it with corner blitzes, safety blitzes, and big number 77 blitzes. Wendell Bryant has been a handful for Ohio State in the passing game all day.
Ben Hartsock, the tight end for the Bucks. Belisari short drop, gonna lob one down the sideline. Check ball, incomplete. Going Jenkins again, and he's defended by Mike Eccles.
Jenkins made it too easy for Eccles to cover that fade route this time. Watch Jenkins, he just gives up too much ground right away. Eccles is just going to beat him to the spot. You got to get upfield. He just runs to the sideline. Eccles says, thank you very much. I'll just continue to push you, and there's no room to make a play to the sideline. You got to stem it inside more and give the quarterback room to throw.
3rd and 7. Vance and Jenkins are the wideouts for Belisari. High, and Vance pulls down another one for a first down. That is 2 fine catches that Chris Vance, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida, has made here today for Belisari. 14 more yards.
Barry Alvarez is bending over because he thought Scott Starks, number 2, was going to pick this ball off. It was thrown a little high. Starks, man-to-man coverage, tries to cut underneath. It's a poor throw, and Vance, the bigger receiver, grabs it. 6'2" versus about 5'8" or 9.
Vance with great hands here today. In the slot. Now they run Wells to the 45-yard line. Ben Herbert, remember, we've got a former NFL assistant calling plays on his drive right now. He's not about to give up the run completely. There's Jonathan Wells, came out of Louisiana, a highly touted prospect. Avid fisherman, Gary.
Well, he
like to catch a big one right now.
You bet. Reel it in.
That's right. Because he has got nothing but putting guppies back in. He's had no keeper so far.
Second down and 7. Wells steps to the middle of that hole and picked up a couple more. Now that's going to put the Buckeyes in that 3rd and 5 spot here. They don't like to have Belisari in this situation, but he's got 2 receivers who look like they can become good ones if he can get the ball to them. Vance and Jenkins, and I have been very impressed, as I'm sure Gary has, with Vance's ability to catch the ball.
They said he's Chris Carter-like, and you can see that. You know who hasn't gotten the ball in the passing game at all is Jamar Martin. He's a good receiver. I wonder if he's ever going to slip him out of the backfield and try to get it to the fullback.
This would be the time. 3rd down and 5. Martin's off to the right. They split the backs. They keep him in the block. Complete to the running back. And Wells almost lost it.
He did.
Oh, baby.
He dropped it.
Dribbled it right back to himself.
Well, they went to the running back. We thought they might go to Jamar Martin. They went to Wells this time. Good throw from Belisari, but watch how he catches it. He catches it, starts to run, drops it, and then picks it back up. Man-to-man coverage, got it right back, and Bryson Thompson with the coverage right there almost got the free ball.
The dance off to the right now, Jenkins to the left. Split the backs again. The Bucks are at the Badger 36-yard line. Belisari with a short drop, snaps up and completion. Out of bounds is Jenkins inside the 30-yard line. And this is the best passing we've seen from Belisari all day. He's now 10 of 18. He's over 50%, throwing for 131 yards. And if he doesn't make the big mistake, he's been on the money on this drive.
Well, that's because Jack wanted to bench him. Is that Jack?
Second down and 2. Martin is set in front. Lydell Ross. He's the tailback. He'll run behind him. And the Badgers were ready for him. Short of the first down. They step into the hole as soon as number 30 appears. These overhead shots are courtesy of the Goodyear blimp. Stars and Stripes. On board the controls, Captain Tracy Rockhold from Akron, Ohio. Nice to have you fellas along, and I'm glad the weather is held. 6:05 to go. Here's your 3rd and 2 now for Ohio State. Belisari, a good runner. The Bucks line up in the power I. A couple of tight ends show a muscle formation. And they're going to bring it head on with the freshman. He did not get it, I don't believe. You can't bring him down with the first hit, but he gave ground after that, didn't he, before the whistle?
You know, Brent, I think if he would have just stayed with his forward progress, Ohio State kicks a field goal. But now losing the ball back, making it about a 47 or 48-yarder, you wonder, will they go for a field goal or will they try a punt in this situation?
They're going to field goal it. This is Josh Houston. Now, Josh has kicked one earlier today, which was his long of 44 yards.
This is what, 48?
Yeah, 48 yards. For the lead. No good. No good. Wisconsin weathers the storm. 5 minutes to go.
A beer is only as good as the ingredients used to brew it. That's why Budweiser uses only the finest all-natural ingredients, hand-selected to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you won't find in any other beer at any price.
This Bud's for you. And you and you and you. This Bud's for you.
The flags are back up. They're playing football again. And thousands of people are once again experiencing the simple joy of buying a new car. And GM is helping with interest-free financing on every car, truck, and SUV now through October 31st. Keep the dream alive. Keep America rolling.
Penn State Northwestern or other regional action next Saturday on ABC.
ABC Wednesday, starting at 8/7 Central. Get ready for the biggest My Wife and Kids ever.
Come on.
Damon's wife is back, and she's brought a few extra pounds with her. But hey, if you can't beat them, join them. A tasty new My Wife and Kids. And at 8:30, 7:30 Central, ABC's big family comedy hit.
Okay, pal, eat up.
According to Jim. And at 9/8 Central, Drew's got 2 wives in big trouble. Yeah, he can run, but he can't hide. Or maybe he can. It all starts at 8/7 Central, ABC Wednesday.
For the Badgers, after the missed field goal, coming out from their own 30-yard line with 5:04 to go in regulation. Play fake Davis, Bollinger looking for the deep man, got him wide open. First down at the 35-yard line. Lee Evans, who set up the tying field goal, is wide open for 35 yards. A great first down call. The Bucs were not looking for this.
Well, actually, Ohio State had both of their safeties deep. They were playing zone coverage. Nick Davis went down the middle. Evans went to the outside. And mistake was made by Derek Ross, number 7. No one in the flat. He has to just throw that and just keep backing up and play the deepest man. And Bollinger continues to make plays to that guy, the big playmaker, number 3.
Now the Badgers 35 yards away. Here's Anthony Davis. A crease inside the 30-yard line. A powerful 7 or 8 yard run by Anthony Davis.
We talked about what the game solutions were in this game, and we said that both teams needed to make those 4-yard runs. You can see it's about even. We got a tie game. We said they've had to tackle well. Both teams started off. Wisconsin slow. Ohio State's been slow late, about even. Look at the completion percentages. Belisari's got the start lately, but Bollinger has been making the big plays as he's passed now for over 200 yards.
Now the Badgers need 3 yards. They'll put it back in Davis's hands. First down. Cooper brings him down at the 20-yard line. There have been 3 other playmakers on this Wisconsin team. Anthony Davis has now rushed for 96 yards today. The receiver, Nick Davis, has caught 6 passes for 90 yards, and Evans 3 for 92. So there have been 3 big weapons, and Bollinger has been able to spread the ball out here today, and now he is driving for what could put the Badgers ahead. And this would be a shocker. They were down by 17. Into the red zone come the Badgers. Here's Anthony Davis in the middle. Not much doing as Mike Doss steps in. The Pacific Life game summary shows you a couple of those big playmakers. Here comes Davis, and Nick zips into the end zone as the Badgers come back. Then it was Lee Evans setting up the tying field goal. And now the Badgers with a 2nd and 9 at the 19. Evans will go to the right. Nick Davis comes down to the left, and Britton will take him. Option look, Bollinger to keep it to the 14-yard line, and they're going to need 4 yards on this next play. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy, the cars you depend on, the cars that last will be there. Original Coors, nothing beats an original. Morgan Stanley, formerly Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. Move your money, get well connected. And Sears. Only Sears has the brands you want at the prices you need. Sears, where else? 3rd down, Wisconsin. 4 yards to go. Wisconsin 17, Ohio State 17. Precious seconds are ticking off. This is a time-consuming drive by Alvarez's Badgers. 3rd down. Here comes Anthony. Over the top, won't get it. It's field goal time for the lead as Joe Cooper brought him down.
That play was blown up early inside. Forced Anthony Davis to make a move. By that time, the linebackers were able to clean it up.
We'll take a timeout. When we come back, Ohio State is going to try to block a field goal. Bet on it. Timeout.
He got next.
All right, Webb.
him. Gotta be him.
Discover a sensation as real as the streets. Mountain Dew Code Red.
I'll get this.
Oh, a platinum card. There's always a catch.
Low rates that explode. Hidden fees.
It's highway robbery.
Actually, I have a Capital One platinum card.
Get a new Capital One Platinum card with a 9.9% fixed rate that starts low and stays low, plus no balance transfer fees.
What's in your wallet?
The flags are back up. They're playing football again. And thousands of people are once again experiencing the simple joy of buying a new car. And GM is helping with interest-free financing on every car, truck, and SUV, now through October 31st. Keep the dream alive. Keep America rolling.
So here is Mark Neuser out of Milwaukee. Made a 25-yarder to tie it. Missed one back in the second quarter. This a 33-yarder for the lead, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't jump on nobody.
Drilled it. Badgers lead. 20 unanswered points. The flag is down, and Alvarez saying, just decline it, just decline it. Just take the three and get out of here with 2:10 to go.
Must have hit the kicker. I had my eye, yeah, roughing the kicker on the play. Boy, he really nailed that one. The last time he hooked it around the left post, this one was right. This one would have made it from 40, 55 yards. Pressure's going to come from his right side. The kick is right down. Right, it's going to hit that big flagpole. That was so good.
Now, you know, if it's a 5-yard penalty, gets a first down, Alvarez should not take points off the board, in our less than humble opinion. but, you know, maybe the coach wants to keep the clock going. He said no first down. I could read his lips. He told the staff no first down.
Penalty is declined.
Pretty gutsy move, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Take the clock all the way down and kick it again.
Would have been. Not to be. The heat's on the Buckeyes, folks. Timeout.
Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last.
You never have to look too far.
Chevy, we'll be there.
There's a place where I get my favorite Italian sauces with all kinds of pastas, plus all the salad and breadsticks I want. Sounds like Mom's house, but it's Olive Garden and their never-ending pasta bowl for $7.95. Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Think he's gonna make it?
Yeah, these guys are good.
Yeah.
At Sears Auto Center, we install your tires in less than an hour, or you get a $20 Sears gift card. Sears, where else?
Her lies are necessary because her life
I am holding plutonium here.
is top secret. Alias, Sunday night 8 Central on ABC.
There's the dean of the Big Ten coaches over the left. Remember, Joe Paterno didn't come into the Big Ten until Alvarez was already there. There's the rookie from Ohio State. Wheels turning, heat's on right now. High, short. Hall runs up at the 18-yard line, looks for a left return, and he's brought down by Joey Boze. Well, time permits, stay tuned now for the Thrifty Colorado postgame report featuring scores and highlights from around the country. John and Terry, if this one holds up, you better get ready, my friends. We've only got 2 minutes left here. Got a player injured. on that far sideline. And meanwhile, you got to wonder now about Steve Belisari coming out with this Buckeye offense, number 8. Facing a test here in the final 2 minutes as his team has squandered a 17-point lead after a bad snap in a punt situation.
Steve Belisari had his best drive, his last drive of the game.
All right, so let's take a break while the injured player is being tended to. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow, all right?
Lunch is over. Buy a Coors Light?
Sold.
Sold? Now that's music to this banker's ears. Listen, I've already offered a lot more than this little bar is worth.
I'm not selling. Build your condos around us.
I don't get it. What makes this dive so special?
This bar's packed every night with people who love their Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light.
Rocky Mountain Cold? Whatever. Hey, moved to Colorado. I want this place. Nobody's gonna stop me. Not you or your beer.
Bar towel.
The Duke?
I'll ask the questions. What time is it?
Time for me to leave? And? Coors Light's on me.
Here you go.
Okay, I had that coming. Next round's on the Duke.
Like heck it is.
Does the world really need another mid-sized family sedan? It does if it's redesigned with V6 power, room for 5, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. Introducing the new Sonata from Hyundai.
We're told down below that the injured player is junior wide receiver Stephen Watson, who was on the special teams, and he suffered a leg injury. Possibility that it's broken, but that's speculation from us at this point, so we'll have to wait and see. But it was a leg injury, and while we've got a break, we can talk about the Chevrolet players of the game. And as far as Wisconsin is concerned, so many candidates, but we've elected to go with their wide receiver Nick Davis, and on the other side Chris Vance, who made a couple of great catches for the Buckeyes, and of course he'll be in the spotlight now for the final 2 minutes of the game. Those are our Chevrolet players of this game here in Columbus.
Now remember, Wisconsin's defense has a lot of experience playing against a passing game this year. They played Oregon, they've played Fresno State, they've faced a lot of different passing attacks. They should have the experience to play this last 2 minutes.
And we have one final reminder. Monday Night Football, first time in history that 2 0-4 teams have ever hooked up, and how the mighty have fallen. 2 of the storied franchises in the National Football League have fallen on very lean times. The Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. About the only thing we can say is it's probably going to be a very evenly matched contest, and if you like 6-3 games, that's the place to be. Now let's check in with Jack and Root.
Well, Brent, they continue to work on Stephon Watson, and it is indeed suspected to be a broken right leg. They have put an air cast onto Watson's right leg. They are going to move him onto a backboard, transfer him immediately to the hospital for x-rays to confirm whether or not he does have a broken leg. He's fully conscious, and the medical team is working at him, so it looks as if while it's bad news for him, it's also good news that it's not any more serious.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jack. And let's take a look at the Big Ten now. Michigan, a winner over Purdue, 24-10. So at the moment, Ohio State's unbeaten, but should they fall, they'll be the only unbeaten. And look at that date that Gary just checked off on November 17th, but also the 3rd of November. Take a look at their November. They do play Minnesota, but they get Ohio State in Ann Arbor. They have to go to Iowa on October 27th. They will go in there, so they get a week off. And the Buckeyes, of course, they're not thinking about the future right now. As you take a look,
no, they were sitting pretty good. If you win this game and it's still up in the air, they were looking good to make a run at it, but this game might catch them.
Now let's check in with John Saunders in New York. John.
Well, Brent, for a while it looked like BYU was going to fall from the ranks of the unbeaten, facing New Mexico, but Brandon Doman, 15 yards to Andrew Ord. They grabbed the lead in the game. It's now 24-20, just over a minute remaining in the contest. Brent.
All right, John. So UCLA rolling, and in the underground version of the BCS, they were ranked number 3 behind Oklahoma and Florida. Now it goes Miami, which was ranked 13th. And again, remember now, folks, that was the underground version of the BCS poll. Certainly nothing official, but the Canes in the unofficial version this week are going to jump way, way up, having gone into Tallahassee. First team to win there since '91. And the Canes did it, and they did it in smart fashion today. They jumped all over the Noles, who now will be struggling. And wouldn't it be something if somebody other than Florida State wins the ACC? Maryland unbeaten. And in 2 weeks, they will go into Tallahassee. With a nice round of applause here from the great college football fans in Columbus, Ohio, here at the Horseshoe for Stephen Watson as he is carted off the field. And now we get back to the drama at hand with Wisconsin leading by a field goal and 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go, and Ohio State has 2 timeouts. They don't need to go downfield and gobble it all up. Remember, the clock stops, incompletions and first downs. Steve should be patient, take what's given to him, move the ball down the field. He's got plenty of time. He only needs a field goal.
So Belisari will pull it out on first down. Wide open was Wells. He threw behind him. They slipped Wells out. What a pattern. And Belisari misfired. And folks, that brings down a chorus of boos from the fans here in Columbus. And you really, I got to tell you, you can't blame him on this one. I mean, he was so wide open.
You can't blame the crowd.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you know, actually, Brent, I think the crowd has been very patient with Steve throughout the game. They're booing his bad plays, but they have not been on him. And that was a pretty bad throw, because that would have been down to about the 40-yard line of Wisconsin if he'd hit him.
Belisari, pump fake. He's going to take off and not go very far. It'll be third down and long as Erasmus James, the rush in from Florida, brings him down.
Ohio State only sent out 2 receivers that time. They were expecting a blitz. They only sent out the 2 wideouts. Both of them were covered, and Steve had nothing to do that time but try to run the ball.
He's got 2 downs to pick up 10 yards. The Buckeyes will go. 1 down left.
They tried the same play they tried on first down, and that was a real prayer there. 3rd and long, trying a sneak play of a back out of the backfield. Now 4th and long, 2 timeouts, 1:24, and they need a field goal. Ohio State takes a timeout, I assume, right here, huh? They come to the sideline or not? Have they taken one? Everybody is still looking at each other down on the field, trying to know what to do with this 4th down and 9 call. Very strange 3rd down call right there. Sending a back out on a wide route. Wisconsin ate it up. There was nowhere to throw the ball.
So the timeout has been called. And we remind you that the executive producer of ABC Sports is Howard Katz, the coordinating producer of college football on ABC, and the producer of the game today, Bob Goodrich. Director is Larry Camp. The TD, Monty Poley. Nice going, Monty. Our associate producer, Mitch Green. Associate director, Brian Fay. Director of production, Bob Toms. And our PAs, well, we got Budweiser himself and TD. Stats man down there in the truck, Big D, Anthony Holman. Production manager is Chris DeBravo. Technical manager is Mark Towey. Stats up here, George Hill, and our spotter, Brian Mobleson. Very, very happy that the Michigan Wolverines may now be the only unbeaten team in the country.
Let's take a look at that 3rd down call. Remember, 3rd and long was the call right now. And the back is going to come out of the backfield right here. But this is so simple. They got a man in center field. They're going to bring the receiver down. Same call as first down. You're only sending 3 players out. Tight end is in, fullback is in. Look at that. They just beat him to the spot. Belisari had nothing to do but to throw that ball out of bounds. There's the safety right there. Bose eating up everything. Very strange 3rd down call.
Well, here it is. 4th down and 9.
They still got the tight end in the game.
And the Bucks. Incomplete, and Wisconsin comes into Columbus. Gives up 17 points in the first half after being destroyed in Madison by Indiana, 63-32, and the Badgers come up big.
Only 2 players go out, here and here, a 2-man route. Very simple defense. 4-5 defenders to stop 2 receivers. Could have gotten the throw. Poor throw on top of it. but not much of a sophisticated pass offense right here. Belisari gets a little pressure, but that's one he could have completed. Vance is wide open on the play. Another bad throw.
Now Anthony Davis sprints to the left side. He'll stay in bounds. And it wasn't that difficult to watch the other night, but the poor Georgia Tech running back went out of bounds and stopped the clock and gave Maryland 5 extra seconds, and they cashed in on a field goal and then won in overtime. So Barry Alvarez, the man can coach. It was just, well, none of us could believe when we saw the score last week that he'd given up 63 in Madison. And here, down 17-0, and the Buckeyes playing very well, but the Badgers did not quit. And Barry Alvarez and his staff deserve to be congratulated for the effort, along with the players. The players stood tall after being destroyed at home by Indiana.
Now there's 69 seconds left in the game. There's a 25-second clock, but the official takes about 10 or 12 seconds to set the play in motion. So it's real close. You know, it'll go right down to 4 or 5 seconds of Wisconsin not even having to hand the ball off again and risk it. If they do, they have to tell the running back or the quarterback, if he keeps it, to secure the ball. Be careful with the handoff and do not fumble.
And ladies and gentlemen, here's where it turned around. It was 17-0 Ohio State punting. Bad snap. Grooms is nailed. And this game has never been the same since then. The Badgers have dominated it completely. And now they're going to take a knee and begin to run out the clock here on Ohio State with a 3-point lead. And now we move down inside of a minute.
Clock has been set right now, so there'll be about 20. Now what happens right here, instead of taking a quick knee, Bollinger could kind of run to the sideline and buy maybe 6 or 8 seconds by just running to the sideline, and then they won't have to force a 4th down play. I wonder if Barry found a lucky 4-leaf clover right there.
He'll take a quick knee and stop the clock now with
and it's basically the game. Game over.
Barry had figured it out on that side along with the staff. He'd had a tough one against Northwestern trying to kill the clock once, but not here today. What a job by the Wisconsin Badgers. A week after giving up 63 points at home, they come to Columbus. Nick Davis, one of their stars, and there are the Badger players full of life. After this 20-17 win, Wisconsin stuns Ohio State. Down we go to Jackaroo.
Well, Coach, congratulations. You challenged your defense at halftime, and they certainly responded.
They really played awful well because we couldn't get off blocks and we couldn't tackle in the first half. But boy, did they come out and played a good Ohio State team and a very physical Ohio State team. And I take my hats off to the defensive coaches, and those kids played their hearts out. I couldn't be more proud of a group of kids and the way they played today after coming back from that game last week.
There was a sense of relief there at the end when you hugged your coaches.
Well, it was a hard week. You know, we've never gone through anything like that. I don't know how many guys have, but you know, one thing you know when that happens and you respond like this, you got your team, and we got a chance. We just got to keep getting better. Thanks,
congratulations.
Jack.
What a picture that was of defensive coordinator Kevin Grosgrove rubbing the tears out of his eyes as this team comes back, trailing 17-0 and shuts down the Buckeyes, and Wisconsin goes home with one of the great gut check victories of recent memory. You give up 63, folks, at home, and then you come to Columbus and win. Congratulations to Wisconsin. ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com. Keyword ABC Sports. Now let's send it to John Saunders and Terry Bowden. Times Square Stadium in New York. Take it away, Big John.
Brent, thanks a lot. And we pay you an awful lot of money here. I want you to explain one thing to me. How can you get blown out at home by Indiana one week, then go on the road into Columbus and shut them down?
I was wishing you'd tell me why I'm working here and not coaching. You know why? Because you never can say never. Losing to Indiana 63-32 last week. Ohio State beats Indiana. You never give up. You try to bring your kids up. That's why Barry Alvarez is a veteran. He's been through a lot. He's able to get those kids just come on, keep fighting. We'll find a way to win. It's just college football. You got to love it.
And probably the best team at their record of 3-2 right now in the country. We said that after they lost a couple early as well. Stick around. When we come back, we'll We'll have the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. Look around the nation, see what other craziness is going on out there on this College Football Saturday.
In after-school programs, your kids will find the hero inside themselves.
Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN.
Too much. Tuesday, Spin City moves to 9/8 Central with Too Much Macho.
On the outside, you have this macho shell, and on the inside, you have this...
Creamy fruit filling. Then Bob Patterson reveals too much.
Don't span a rod and spoil this child.
Bob Patterson, after Spin City at its new time, 9/8 Central, ABC Tuesday.
Penn State Northwestern or other regional action next Saturday on ABC.
Remember going to your deli for a hot melt sandwich? No, it closed after the owner lost his money at the track. But you'll love Hardee's hot melts, roast beef and cheddar, hot ham and cheese, or the mushroom and Swiss burger. Mix and match any two for just $3 at Hardee's.
The Atlanta Thrashers' third NHL season begins October 13th at Phillips Arena. A new reason to see why hockey is another word for action.
Are you kidding me?
Speed, intensity, and while hockey is another word for the future, it is also another word for now.
Shoot! He's got
Thrashers opening night is October 13th. Every fan in attendance will receive a Ray Ferraro bobblehead doll courtesy of Phillips Electronics. Call 404-584-PUCK.
Ford drives America. And right now, Ford's making it easier for America to drive Ford. Introducing 0% financing on all 2001 and 2002 cars, including Ford Focus, Taurus, Windstar, Mustang, even Mustang Cobra. Nothing beats 0%, and nothing beats the money you'll save on America's favorite cars. Visit your Atlanta area Ford store today for this limited time offer.
Didn't you love Mom's biscuits? No, you couldn't stop watching cartoons long enough to eat anything. But you'll love Hardee's Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit, served fresh on one of our famous made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits. Now get two for just $2 at Hardee's.
Triple Team Traffic, every 10 minutes from 5 to 7 a.m.
The Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. Great cars, great rates, and over 1,200 locations around the world. Thrifty Car Rental. From Times Square in New York, John Saunders and Terry Bowden.
Down 17-0, Wisconsin scores the next 20 to beat Ohio State 20-17. As a result, right now, Michigan, the only team in the Big Ten with a unblemished conference record. The marquee matchup today was supposed to be in Tallahassee, Florida. Miami playing their first tough opponent after 4 easy games in which they averaged 43 points a game. Guess what? They would score more than 43 in this one. Andrew Williams causes the fumble. Chris Campbell recovers the ball, and Chris Ricks saw much too much of this all day long. What else they saw was Miami able to capitalize. Next play, Ken Dorsey, 27 yards to Andre Dawson. That tells the story, those two highlights right there.
But what you're not seeing is all those scores coming off of turnovers, 3 straight to go up 21-0.
Chris Ricks again, hit by Joseph. Jonathan Vilma picks it up, and he sees daylight, rumbles to the end zone. Linebacker moving quite quickly there. It's 35-13. And then you know things are going poorly here. A bad snap on the field goal attempt. Freddie Capshaw avoids the tackle and takes it in for the touchdown. And your dad hasn't seen too many days like that. 49 points, 27. 49-27 is the loss. And Ken Dorsey again, if you're talking about him for the Heisman, this game certainly vaults his chances.
So every time he gets an opportunity, he makes something happen, you know, because Miami finds so many ways. They caused 7 turnovers by Florida State. And I talked to my father earlier. They said, we've got to protect Chris Ricks. Don't let them get to him. 7 times they sacked him.
Well, the psyche of Chris Ricks, you have to wonder about that. Now, Miami, if the BCS poll had come out this week, Miami would not have even been in the top 10 because of their schedule. Their strength of schedule was one of the worst in the country, but this is what they have remaining. Still some teams that are struggling out there. They have to point forward to Boston College, Syracuse. Hope Washington can come back today against UCLA and Virginia Tech. They really have to hope that the teams that are left on their schedule continue to win.
That's right. They couldn't do anything about their schedule, but their schedule gets much better. Florida State's going to help Washington and Virginia Tech, but they need to end up #1 in the ESPN and the AP poll so that their strength of schedule is not high enough. They can remain in the top 2 positions if they go undefeated.
Imagine that. Last year, one loss to Washington. They beat Florida State. They don't get in. Can you imagine if somehow they run the table and don't get into the championship game? We might hear something from that. Washington, the last team to beat Miami, and they'll face them later this season. They're facing UCLA today. They couldn't find an answer for Deshaun Foster. 5 yards on the touchdown run, 7-0. Then this one of 21 yards for the touchdown. UCLA jumps in front early with a 14-0 lead. And then 1st and 10 here. Watch Foster again, 64 yards. Amari Lowe finally gets him out of bounds. But this one would go in for a touchdown by Foster, a while later, his 3rd of the game.
Well, the only chance Washington had to win was to play great defense. They had not given up a rushing touchdown. They gave up 3 to Deshaun Foster. They had no chance to keep this game close. Because remember, they win close games in the 4th quarter. This was never close. Should have been a lot worse.
You know, Washington has just not managed to get their offense going, throwing or running the ball right now. That game just about 7 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. We'll let you know how it turns out. Purdue against Michigan. Joe Tiller knows his squad hasn't won since 1966 in Ann Arbor. Brandon Hance, 12 yards to Tim Stratton. Purdue on the board first. Great throw there, 7-0. But too much of this man. Marquise Walker, 42 yards on the punt return, sets up a touchdown.
This is the first game he's returned punts, 7 for 133 yards. But he's a great receiver, and John Navarro does a great job of getting him the ball.
Navarro right here gets it to him, 43 yards on the toss. Had his men beaten by about 5 yards, 14-7, and they're jumping in Ann Arbor, rather. 24-10 is the final. Marquise Walker, look at the all-purpose yards, about 250 on the ground. Nebraska facing Baylor, and this game was actually close in the 3rd quarter. Nebraska was only leading 14-7, but how about this? NCAA record, 4 guys carrying the ball for over 100 yards, including quarterback Eric Crouch.
Well, this summer, Coach Frank Solich told me if they could play great defense, which they're the top 4 in the nation, and they could get good rushing out of their running backs, they would have a better year than last year. They're doing just that. And Eric Crouch is staying healthy.
And for the 40th consecutive year, Nebraska is assured a winning season. That's second only all time to the Irish of Notre Dame, who've done it 42 straight years at one point. Stick around. We'll continue with more of the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report in just a moment. Once again, Wisconsin pulls out a big win at Ohio State.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
Woo! You make it fun. You make it good. You make it one big neighborhood. You make it all just go together. Dr. Pepper, you make the world taste better. Dr. Pepper makes the world taste better. You make the world taste better. And we all, Dr. Pepper, you make the world taste better. Yeah, come on.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
The National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics administers many of the associations for today's athletics professionals, from athletics directors, marketing, development, compliance, licensing, and business management. The NACDA Foundation provides internships and since 1983 has awarded more than $9.5 million in postgraduate scholarships. NACDA also administers the annual Kickoff and Pigskin Classics, First Mentors, and the Sears Directors Cup, the leaders in intercollegiate athletics administration. We are NACDA.
Outside of Times Square Stadium, we'll look at the lights of New York from Broadway and Times Square as we continue with the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. The scores and highlights. John Saunders alongside Terry Bowden. Boston College facing Virginia Tech. We talked about Miami's strength of schedule and the struggles they might have in the BCS polls later on this month. Well, Virginia Tech in a similar situation. Right now, this game is just underway, but Virginia Tech's strength of schedule is just about as bad as Miami's.
Yeah, they've played as good as you could play against their schedule. They've dominated every game. Boston College a little bit better at 4-1. But, John, if they were to go undefeated, win 10 games, and then beat Miami and be 11-0, they would be in worse shape, strength of schedule-wise, than even Miami.
So the Big East looking on with watchful eyes at something that might keep them out of things. Oregon against Cal, A good offense against a bad defense. Joey Harrington, 37 yards to Sammy Parker. He also had a 16-yard touchdown pass and a 1-yard touchdown run. Oregon blowing out a Cal team that is not good. Well, they're very bad, I guess would be kind.
Well, Oregon has not looked